Oi, dickheads! It's me, Kev, and this is the Ayn Rand of academia, the libertarian herself. It's Kristi Winter. Oh,
Turn
sorry.
your lamp on. There you go.
Yeah.
Hey, Kevin, you're lit up now. You're lit up like a Christmas tree, which is up in your house. You said you were going to put up your Christmas tree this.
I already did.
Couple
I did
days
before
ago.
the last show. Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. Anyway, she's not like Ayn Rand. I'm doing a joke. We were talking about libertarianism being shit off air, so.
Yeah, we were. By the way, you went a bit quiet for me there. You were alright before, but for some reason now,
right,
you're a bit on the quiet side.
You're wearing earphones. Fuck you. Oh fuck! So why is it doing this? Talk, Kristi.
All right, so sorry. I know you're doing a check there. That was a little bit better when you moved it closer. So
Move closer.
Yes. So I'll tell you guys a little bit about what we're going to do in the show tonight while Kevin resets his microphone. And we've got some.
No, that's still shit. Go on.
We've got some really amazing stuff coming up. Why am I selling it? Now we're going to talk about how the Texas suit just keeps getting more ridiculously.
It does keep getting more ridiculous. That's still rubbish. Why is it being rubbish for? Fuck it. I'll have to talk like that.
Kind of, yeah. Keeping it really close helps. So stick it right up by your mouth.
That's what she said.
Yeah, go on, put it up there. Let's see it.
No, it's about. Look, literally, if I just move the thing just half an inch, look, it pops into screen. So it's right there.
Yeah, so
it's loud enough. It's all good. I just clipped then.
Right,
so yeah, no, there we go. We're back. Anyway.
Yeah, it's better now.
So, yeah. We've got stuff and things.
Oh yeah, the Texas suit is like a Frankenstein that just keeps getting bigger and more hideous. And then Carl sent us was trying to get some attention. We got tagged into a post by Lotus Eaters.
We did, yeah.
.com, the floater eaters.
We were contacted by the floater eaters.
Yes.
Twitter page.
And they sent us an article that Carl had apparently penned, and I'm going to grade it as if it were a first-year undergraduate essay. So you
Which, Kristi, you're holding him to a standard that as a college dropout he clearly can't achieve.
Yeah, but people are going to pay him money to access these ramblings that wouldn't even get him.
Well, they were paying him when the fucking thing wasn't working. So I mean, I don't know if these people's standards are too high, frankly.
Yeah, they have a significant amount of disposable income, apparently.
More money than sense.
Yes.
Which, well, good segue. If you've got more money than sense, go to streamlabs.com/KFLogan1875 and you can give me money and it'll pop up on the screen. It will confuse and baffle me and will make a silly sound and completely ruin. So you'll not just annoy me, you'll probably annoy Kristi, and also you'll ruin the entertainment of everyone else watching. So I know my audience are dickish enough to want that. If you have more money than sense, you can do that there. So the link is below in the thingy.
You're fading again, but I am going to pretty much just ignore that sound because it's not money for me, and so I can just continue to talk through it, and then Kevin will have to explain and say thank you and everything else. So
I don't know that thank you is in order. Why has it gone low again? I don't know that thank you's in order. I'll just get rid of the fucking thing. So
yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, you're going to get all those plosives now. Which is
you
a
are
fun word to
indeed.
say. I think everyone, say out loud, plosives.
Plosives. Talking about Nancy Plosives.
I like how seriously you took it. At least you sounded serious.
I did.
That surprised me.
I sold the bit. You're very welcome.
Did.
Anyway, also you missed my Nancy Plosives joke, which I think was very good.
No, I ignored it. There's a difference.
Well, outrageous activity. Anyway,
well, I mean, it would be funnier if we were actually talking about Nancy Pelosi, but.
Well, yeah, but I mean, you didn't say, I don't know, fucking plexus. So what the fuck can I do for a joke then? It sounded like a thing that's a person. So I mean,
plexus doesn't mean the same thing as plosives.
No, but I'm saying you didn't say something that sounded like Texas or the Supreme Court or something. So I couldn't do that joke.
No, I didn't.
Like, there's no point if you're going to set up a
Quotas.
completely different joke and I swing the bat 20 feet away from the fucking pitch. Like that. Oh, silly.
Yes. Swig from the fuzzy drink. Or fizzy drink.
Fuzzy
not fuzzy.
drink?
They're fizzy.
Well, you made it sound dirty. There's no need.
Oh, yeah. Tulsi Gabbard's trash. She's turf trash.
Yes, she is. She is garbage. And not just that, but decided to make her last action as a senator something shit. So that'll be good.
Yep.
Can't wait for that. We'll be picking up on that later. It is in the... I think I've bookmarked something about it. But yeah, anyway. So, talking of plexus... Texas! Texas is trash. I hope you like the bookmark.
Well,
I spent a whole
there,
2
the Attorney
minutes.
General.
2 minutes putting together that thumbnail. So I hope you enjoyed that. I don't know if you saw it.
Oh, is that the King of the Hill one?
No. That's that one, right? That's just my generic meme for the day thing someone else did. That I just cropped.
Right, okay.
I just cropped and made shorter so it fit in the screen better. Anyway, no, I'm talking about the thingamajig. Where? Hang on, no, that's not what I want. It's
There's so many things you don't want. Go to the thing you do want.
I'm talking about this.
Oh,
Kristi,
yes.
that. Which I need to, oh god, now I need to go on to that,
Yeah.
the screen.
And show them.
There we go.
Yes.
That's the thing. It's Texas with the copium, and I put that together this afternoon in about 2 minutes. So
I just want like an animated GIF of it, actual tears coming down. But
there we go. Wow,
that would be funny.
that would be beyond
No,
me.
that's-
I did that in Microsoft Paint. That's the
No,
level.
that's
I know my level, Kristi. I don't pitch myself as anything other than I am. I am a basic
You know
bitch.
what you do, and you do it well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, again, I
because you're
don't know
very
that I
good
do
at
it
being a
well
basic
either.
bitch.
I don't know that well is a thing that can be described. Anyway, plexus. The great state of plexus is taking taking 4 other states, those being
Other states to court.
Wisconsin,
Yes.
Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Georgia, to the Supreme Court of the United States of Plumerica.
Nice. Are you swigging again?
I am. I thought you had something to say, but you didn't. So
No, I can't top PL jokes. I can't. That's great. Like I'm not just gonna let that hang in the air and let everyone
Yeah.
savor it.
yeah, they're trying to overturn the election result of President-elect Joe Biden.
Right, but in a particularly undemocratic way, they're asking
Yes.
the Supreme Court to just ignore the results of the states and have the legislative bodies appoint electors for Trump.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about you,
Just-
Kristi, but
that's-
I'm old
They're
enough to
worried about democracy.
I'm old enough to remember when Republicans claimed to care about states' rights. Do you remember those days? Crazy, I know. But yeah, they certainly fucking don't anymore. So,
Nope.
with his legal options dwindling and time running out before a key electoral college deadline, which is Monday, I think they vote.
Probably, yeah, the 14th.
Indeed, which is, Monday. President Trump on Thursday ramped up pressure on the Supreme Court, not really, to help overturn Joe Biden's victory, gaining the support of more than 100 congressional Republicans in an unprecedented assault on the US election system. Can I just point out, I think it was 106 congressional Republicans. Those people, as far as I'm concerned, are guilty of sedition at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they legally
Yeah.
meet the threshold for that, or whether you can even charge a
No.
congressperson with that. But that, as far as I'm concerned, this is absolutely sedition.
It's undermining democracy. Definitely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
For
basically
political
saying
freedom.
you're more important than the will of the American people.
Mm-hmm.
Which is the kind of shit that kings try and do. And you're in a republic.
Supposedly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I have to.
Trying to keep it. We're trying to keep it.
Yeah. I said on my show yesterday, I'm actually quite pleased with how well the institutions have stood up so far.
Yeah. Other than the Quislings, the judiciary has held.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
In a morning tweet, Trump called on the court to, quote, save our country from the greatest election abuse in the history of the United States, unquote, repeating his baseless claims of widespread fraud. He had a private lunch at the White House with some of the attorneys general from 18 Republican-led states, asking the court to dismiss the results in 4 swing states that Biden won, an effort supported by the Trump administration. Not just supported, but he actually literally joined. He intervened in the case.
Did he join as a plaintiff?
Well, I don't think you can join as a plaintiff. You join with the amicus something else.
Okay,
in
that's not joining. I can explain the difference between joining a case and amicus curiae.
Yeah, go on then.
Okay, all right. So if you go back up, I think they talk about amicus curiae. Yes, in the second sentence of the third paragraph. So when you become, when you file in the court, you're supposed to have standing, and you're either appealing it or you're defending it. And then anybody who wants to can file. The phrase means friend of the court, and you're basically saying, hey, we agree with this lawsuit because of these reasons, but you're not joining the case. You're basically saying, like, I'm such a fan of this, and that kind of goes with the file, and the justices can see it. But it's not. They don't appear in the case, like they don't get to argue it, and it's not considered, I don't think, evidence. If you just type amicus curiae, you can get an official. Yeah.
Amicus curiae, literally friend of the court. The noise happened. Is someone who is not a party to a case who assists a court by offering information, expertise, or insight that has a bearing on the issues in the case. Okay.
I think that's kind of what I said, but I babbled a bit more.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
So we have a comment from Sophia. Hello, Sophia. I did a show with Sophia.
Yeah.
Let's chat Labour soonish, and happy Hanukkah. Yes, happy Hanukkah to all of my Hebrews and Shebrews and non-binary Jews. Yes. I don't know what day of Hanukkah it is, but are they still lighting candles? Some people do that, don't they?
I think is that the end of Hanukkah when all the candles are lit?
Or,
you keep it lit for 7 days or 10 days. I don't know. I'm not Jewish.
I don't know. I mean, I know I'm a secret Jew, but I have to pretend like I don't know what I'm talking about Judaism, so that I keep the secret thing, because George Soros wouldn't like that getting out there. Praise be upon him. Anyway, so yeah, happy Hanukkah to all of you.
I know it's something to do with the lamp in oil.
Yeah, well, they've got the what's it called? The lamp thing, and it's got like 8 spokes to it. It's like a famous Jewish symbol.
Yes, the menorah.
Menorah. There we go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so talking about the yes, by late afternoon, 106 GOP House members, a majority of the 196-member Republican caucus. That's bad. Had signed an amicus brief to support the Texas-led motion. Among them, Menorah Whip Steve Scalise. See what I did? Menorah. I managed to fit that in. Yeah,
minority. Yeah.
Steve Scalise, who was shot but survived. We'll leave that there. Louisiana. And Representative Tom Emmer, Minnesota, the chair of the National Republican Congressional Committee. These people are treasonous. They just are. 78% of the people feel, no, the election was rigged. Trump falsely declared in his Twitter post.
You know it in the gut. You don't know it in the brain, you know it in the gut.
So, hang on, 78% of who?
Yeah. People who say they're Republicans and voted for Trump.
Yeah, well,
I don't know.
Yes,
go. Me the number
okay. Well, this is happening, is it? Right. Well, hello, Sophia again. Keep the candles lit for 8 days. Well, if you're Jewish, you can do that. Yes. I mean, I don't because I don't have candles in my house. Because actually, that's not true. I do have some candles, but I don't really use them because fire burns things, and I am clumsy, and Rory is also clumsy. So.
Get you an electric one that you can plug in and turn them on.
That's not a lamp. That's just that's a cheat. That's a lie, Kristi. You're living a lie. Anyway, in fact, his campaign legal team has suffered more than 3 dozen defeats in federal and state courts. Let's just repeat that. Yep. 3 dozen defeats in state and federal courts, including the High Court's ruling last Tuesday, denying a motion to block Pennsylvania from certifying Biden's win in that state. Plemocrats. No, okay, I'm going to stop that. I'm retiring that joke. I can't trust myself with the joke, so I take the joke away from me. Democrats denounced the last-ditch effort filed this week by Texas Attorney General.
Put yourself on the naughty step.
Indeed. And crook beyond belief, Attorney General Ken Paxton. I added the crook bit, but he is. A staunch
Double FBI investigated.
Indeed. A staunch Trump supporter attended the White House lunch. I hope some of them get COVID in Minecraft, definitely. To negate 10.4 million votes in favour of Biden in Georgia, Michigan, Pennsylvania and Wisconsin. By the way, I was watching the Wisconsin congressional... what do they... No, it wasn't a committee, it was like a meeting, a general meeting of the legislature about election fraud, and they had some of the most mental people. They had a shock jock from one of the local radio stations on, talking about a woman in a coma who was voting. Didn't provide any evidence for this. Just said it. And everyone was just like, whatever. Yeah. You know, they're just going through the motions because there are Trump idiots everywhere and they have to placate them.
Yep.
Basically, America's going through rather than shout at the naughty child, you just let them ramble for a bit and then they'll get tired and go away. But they're not going away.
Except they don't get tired and they don't go away. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The appeal to the Supreme Court came days before the statutory deadline Monday for Electoral College representatives in each state to vote on final certification of the results and send them to Congress for ratification early next month, where it seems likely they're probably going to be challenged by the Republicans but still lose. Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Which is pretty shit. The justices could decide as soon as Friday whether to accept the case, which they won't. Which seeks to take advantage of the allowance that lawsuits between states may be filed directly at the Supreme Court. Now, yes.
By the way, on Georgia, that's what we were talking about before, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, I just think it's an uphill climb, and yeah, maybe there's some division in the GOP with a part of the what's his name, Lynn Wood fringe. Yes, but the fact is that it is an uphill battle, and I would expect them to unify around, not necessarily Trump, but I just think it's not very likely that we'll get those seats. Not this cycle anyway. Maybe another 6 years or so.
I don't know. Trump's such a wild card. Like if it goes against them at the.
But what percentage of them are going to walk away from voting? That's the real question.
It depends how hard Trump goes with it. If he loses the Electoral College, which obviously he will. If he loses his shit completely and like denounces Loeffler and Perdue, that he could. I mean, I don't know what in terms of numbers, but certainly enough to swing an election. I think, yeah, that's possible. I don't think it's necessarily that likely, but I think it's definitely possible.
I think once the Electoral College votes, then this is going to stop being an issue, and Trump is going to focus on 2024, and that's going to allow the Republicans to focus on Georgia. That's how I see it playing out. I mean, we don't have to.
That might be better for the Republic, but. What's better for the Republic and what Trump does are often two very distinct things, is all I'll say.
Yeah. I mean, eventually we'll find out.
Well, indeed.
In a couple of days.
Indeed.
So.
But officials in the targeted states said any claims in the filings have already been dismissed in lower courts. True. In all, 20 states, along with the District of Columbia, Guam and the US Virgin Islands, filed a motion calling on the High Court to reject Texas, reject the Texas request.
You don't hear that. That's not in the headlines as much. Yeah. But yeah, 20 states and
well, actually, I think it's now up to 26 states in total that have now joined. The majority of America is now involved in this, which is why I call it civil war. It's kind of an attention-grabbing thing, but you know, it is. I mean, it's certainly a civil legal war. Yes, but I mean, I think they're definitely going to lose though these 26 states and the four, because there's been 2 new entrants to the fight. 2 new entrants.
Tell us.
This is a literal legal document here, people. This is the plaintiff, the state of Texas against the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, state of Georgia, state of Michigan, state of Wisconsin, filed on behalf of New California and New Nevada.
What?
Yeah.
What? Those places don't exist.
No, of course they fucking don't.
I like it how it's attorneys. Oh, he lives on South Highway 160. It was just having an attorney's office.
But in Nevada, why doesn't he live in New Nevada? What's going on there? Why is he not part of the New California Bar?
Why isn't he living in the state he's practicing in?
And he's not even a part of the New California Bar. That's just outrageous.
Nope.
Outrageous. Anyway, so some nutcase, basically. Right, New California State and New Nevada State, neither of those are things, are directly impacted by the arbitrary and capricious changes in election laws and procedures occurs within the unfortunate irregularity in the current states of California and Nevada. By the way, the lie at the heart of this entire case anyway is that Texas is guilty of the thing it's accusing the 4 states of. The governor of Texas, without the official say-so of the legislature, under emergency powers because of COVID, elongated the early voting period.
Ah.
So they're literally guilty of the thing they're suing others for. Okay, babe. You better hope that doesn't fucking win then, you dopey bastard.
Yeah.
Part of the reason...
They'll sue you right back.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Not just that, but they better hope this doesn't go through anyway, because if they do, California and New York are suing you all for your fucking voter suppression, you dopey bastards. State, you've been crying states' rights for the last 150 years for a fucking reason.
Yeah.
Anyway. Part of the reason for the formation of New California State and New Nevada State, again, those aren't things, is to stop the lawless actions of...
state. It's not state, it's state.
Sate? Sate! Okay, it's French. It's New Nevada State. Is to stop the lawless actions of Governors Newsom, California, and Sisolak, Nevada. An opinion by this court affirmed a national uniform rule of law. Did it? Did that happen? Mm-hmm. I don't think so. Establishing the supremacy of the Electors Clause, blah, 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 of the United States Constitution will resolve some of the complaints causing the establishment of these new states, which haven't been established. So anyway, basically, a nutter called, what's his name? Robert Thomas. Robert E. Thomas, counsel for Amici Curiae, New California State and New Nevada State, although he's misspelled state. No, yes. He's misspelled it there as state. It's very strange. Has filed to become part of this. I am going to go out on a limb and say that as the Supreme Court of the United States doesn't recognise either New Nevada and New California, because, and again, I have to reiterate, they aren't things, I don't think this is going to be allowed. Sorry.
Well, it'll just get filed and it'll be stuck in a pile of other amici curiae.
Yeah. And like all useless things, when the Supreme Court dies, the relatives will throw it in a fucking bin. That's what happens with nonsense.
I mean, those kinds of things, again, if the court can choose to look at them or not, but I would imagine most of them don't even get... I mean, they may be reviewed by the law clerks, and screened, but that wouldn't really get very far. No.
Because again, what are they going to do in that case? Because in any case, even if this did somehow get heard, which it won't, and won, which it obviously won't, what are they going to do? Kick it back to the New California Supreme Court? That isn't a thing.
No, it's not.
Anyway. Josh Shapiro, just proving that not all Shapiros are gobshites. Good to see.
Cool.
Texas's effort to get this court to pick the new president has no basis in law or fact. Pennsylvania Attorney General Josh Shapiro, D, said in his court filings that labelled the case a bid to construct a, quote, surreal alternate reality, unquote. Very true.
Yep, pretty much.
He added that the court should not abide the seditious abuse of judicial process and should send a clear and unmistakable signal that such abuse must never be replicated. Correct. Connecticut Attorney General William Tong, which is awesome, because if you shorten that, that's biltong, which is a dried meat product from South Africa. So, it tastes like boot leather smeared in dog shit. If you don't
How
mind
do you
me
know
saying.
this?
Because I've tried it and it's disgusting. It's like a dried kind of beef jerky thing. It's fucking horrible. Right. Hello, TBO, donated $10, thank you. This is to notify you I'm a sovereign citizen and you will be extradited to New California for the crime of genocide. This is not a joke. That's related. I don't think you'll get the joke completely because you probably didn't watch yesterday, did you? Because you've got like a life
I was
and things.
offline yesterday. Yeah. Wow.
Yes. I did I did a conspiracy corner thing, a new thing I'm doing, where I look at conspiracy idiots. And this is a Canadian guy who claims to have started his own country. He's a sovereign citizen, twat, and he's proclaimed himself a judge in that new country. And so rings up random people like the World Health Organization, the Canadian Health Committee or whatever, the Premier of Manitoba Province and stuff. All these people saying, I'm giving you legal notice that you're being investigated for genocide. Because of COVID or something. He's saying COVID's fake and that what they're doing is genocide. So, Yeah, he's a lunatic.
Yeah,
and he
he
starts swearing. Yeah, literally the person in the chat. I'm a fucking judge, bitch. Like he just starts screaming at them and stuff. He's really, really off. So anyway, now having explained that joke, it's much funnier. That's how that works.
Yes.
So yeah, thank you to TBEO or TBO, whatever. Anyway, thank you. Anyway, back to AG Biltong, who joined the states opposing the lawsuit, called the case unconstitutional and said that Americans, quote, cast their ballots in a free and fair election, their decision must be respected, unquote.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, correct. The election was not close. There was no evidence of fraud. The states have certified the results. That's Hillary Clinton said that. Yet Trump continues to try and overturn the election at the expense of our democracy. The emperor has no clothes. Republican electeds who continue to humour him have no spines. That's true, and they mustn't ever be allowed to get away with this. They mustn't ever be allowed to forget that this is what they tried to do. In fact, the worst of it is there are several people from the 4 states that are being sued who were elected in that very same election who have signed on to this, saying that their own election, which they are undoubtedly going to accept was absolutely fine in their case and take up their seat in January, naturally, they're saying that election was fraudulent. But they'll still take up their seat and their tens of thousands of dollars a year in wages.
There's 2 arguments. So one, there's the fraud issue, and actually this isn't what the case is about. What they're saying is that they didn't follow like their own state laws, and that's so it's more of a procedural issue. Like, did they tick all the boxes to do this properly? Now again, even if they hadn't, Texas wouldn't have standing because they're not affected by what happens inside the state. But there is a thing to say that you can't just pick one race in there to overturn, that all the races should be overturned if the procedure was wrong for all of the votes cast. Yeah. So that there is a way to get to that, but it's just not through fraud. So.
Sophia says, how dare you slag off biltong, one of my known foodstuffs of my native South Africa? Well, I do that because it tastes like shit. It tastes like actual shit. It's like chewing boot leather that's been smeared in excrement. And it's too salty. Yes. There's no need for any of it.
So does it just dry your mouth out?
It's like beef jerky that's been dried far too long and extra salty. Like it's Ming. It's absolute Ming the Merciless. Anyway, someone says if you change the zombie thing, I'll donate. That's actually coming over the weekend. I told Kristi about this before the thing. I won't reveal on air what it is. You'll have to donate and find out for your fucking selves. But
Kevin finds it hilarious.
I'd find it very funny.
He can't stop laughing as he describes it, so I don't know how he's going to get through shows. You guys are just going to make him laugh whenever you want.
I'll probably get used to it, to be honest. It'll probably become less funny with time. If that's that's how that works.
If that's possible.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Well, basically, are we done with this? I can't even remember. Oh, you wanted to shout out this dude, didn't you?
Oh, right. Yes. Neil Katyal. He's argued 41 cases in front of Ruth Bader Ginsburg. So he's argued, I should say, in front of the Supreme Court and knows his stuff. He's often appears on MSNBC as an expert, and he does these little courtside takes on Instagram. And I learned a lot listening to this, and I don't know how copyright's going to work in terms of fair use, but I don't think he has a YouTube, so it shouldn't be uploaded to content stuff. So I did look for him on YouTube, I couldn't find him. So yeah, let's have a little listen to this.
To courtside, everyone, a discussion of the post-election litigation brought by Donald Trump. It's day 36 after the election, and the big picture is this. Never has a legal team lost so much so fast. Really, he's at an astounding number of losses. The count now...
You never thought anyone could win this, to lose this much. People thought it was impossible. You'll lose so much you'll get sick of losing. Yeah.
Yes. And they'll say, no, we don't want to lose anymore. And I'll be like, no, let's do it. We have to lose some more.
Stands at 1 out of 50.
4 more losses. 4 more losses.
55 that he's won. I mean, there are more jokers in a deck of cards. He loses at every level. He loses in the federal
What a
court.
weird
He loses in the
analogy.
state court. He loses in the trial court. He loses
There are more broken biscuits in a packet. Nah.
in the appeals court. And he loses in the Supreme Court. It's quite remarkable to watch Donald Trump's ability to lose. As I mentioned once before, he's really on his way to the legendary Georgia Tech Cumberland football game in 1916 with that score of 222-0. But that, of course, hasn't stopped Donald Trump. There's a bunch of silly action.
222-0. What were
Do
they,
you know?
Were they fucking
you know
babies? What?
It was, I think it was a college football game, and it was like the early 1900s. But yeah.
But even so, these were like grown adults, or at least young teenagers at the very least.
I don't know. I don't know this story. You have to look it up.
Well, okay. No, because I'm just thinking, in order to even do that, they would have to basically march up and down the field unopposed.
Maybe their opponents didn't show up.
Well, they just played to an empty field. Well, I mean, kickoffs would have been fun then, because it just would have been one side standing there waiting for the wind to blow it off the tee or something. I don't know.
Yeah, basically. Anyway.
Today, including new moves in the Texas lawsuit. More on that in a minute, but I understand, I hear some anxiety from all of you. So to cut to the chase, that lawsuit is a joke. And that's a really mean thing to say about jokes. Okay, 3 other things before we get to Texas. First, in Nevada, Trump tried to set aside the certification because, oh my gasp, they used absentee ballots during COVID. Well, that lost 6-0 in the Nevada Supreme Court last night. A quote from the unanimous opinion.
Why do they need 6 Supreme Courts when there are only like 10 people in that state? Come on. Come on.
But he's got his own little sense of humor, Neil.
Yeah.
Contestants failed to meet their burdens to provide credible and relevant evidence to substantiate any of the grounds they set forth to contest the November election. In the Michigan Supreme Court, they threw out an attempt to decertify the election as well. And in Arizona, and I know this will break your heart, Sidney Powell's latest Kraken lawsuit collapsed with a federal judge saying, quote, "It is sorely wanting of relevant or reliable evidence." And along the way, she managed to lose on every issue, from the court's jurisdiction to the merits to mootness to them filing the case too late.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we covered that. They lost. Yeah, their Kraken suits went 0-4.
Yeah.
0-4.
No, and
yeah.
no.
Yeah. And the Wisconsin one was just as withering in its disdain. Courts don't like being taken the piss out of, Sydney. You should know that. Look, she's argued in court successfully many years ago in the past. Like, that's the thing. Was she either the bar is too low for the bar, or she used to be like okay and now she's just mental?
Sold out.
Yeah,
she
I don't
sold
know.
out. Yeah, it's about money.
Well, possibly, but she seems nutty enough that she might believe some of it.
Well, yeah, but then the money just makes it easier.
Yeah, that's true.
That brings me now to Texas. And, you know, this Texas lawsuit filed in the U.S. Supreme Court yesterday directly is basically like the Kraken lawsuits on crack. And it's brought by an attorney general, I guess, though notably this attorney general, whose name is Ken Paxton of Texas, is under indictment for securities fraud and separately an FBI investigation because 8 of his top aides turned him in for corruption. So this lawsuit...
and I should point out...
His own people.
Yeah, his own people. Yeah. Which he would have to be really corrupt for that, yes. I said that Ted Cruz was a former Attorney General of Texas. I was incorrect. Someone corrected me on that. He was former Solicitor General of Texas.
Ah.
So.
Okay.
But it doesn't really make much difference. It still would mean he should know the law and that this case is shite. But there we go.
Went to Harvard, right?
Yeah, like again, he must have had something about him at one point, but I don't know. Maybe it is the thing about power corrupting. You know, once you get a taste of that, the money and the power, and
you'll do anything to keep it.
Yeah, exactly.
It really seems designed to be more like Ken Paxton is pulling a Mike Flynn pardon, or I guess Dinesh D'Souza, or I guess Roger Stone, or I guess Conrad Black, or I guess Scooter Libby, or I guess Bernie Carrick, or I guess Sheriff Joe Arpaio. The list goes on. In any event,
Well, yeah, but this is I mean, I don't think a president should have fucking powers like this at all. But it needs to be reformed because it's so obviously open to abuse, as it has been under Trump.
Yeah, but I think the idea, I mean, I understand exactly what you're saying. And there were some questions, but mostly it's been used to process actual people who are incarcerated in the past. And yeah, a couple political people here and there, a dusting, but it hasn't been primarily the way Trump has done it.
Well, exactly, that's the thing, though. A lot of the American presidency is based on the idea that presidents wouldn't want to be seen as corrupt.
Yeah.
All it takes is one for them to not give a fuck, which is Trump.
Yeah,
and
I agree.
Then he'll just, I mean, Dinesh D'Souza, what?
The difficulty is because it is a constitutional power, it would require an amendment, I think.
Yeah.
The pardon power is almost absolute and not reviewable. So
true, but what I will say is Joe Biden should go in there and just release all liberal prisoners and then see if Republicans might get on board with a fucking constitutional amendment. Is all I'll say. We have ways of playing to your hubris, motherfuckers. Anyway.
You know, the lawsuit itself has no legal substance. That may not be what.
Play their racism against them. Release all black criminals. Give a presidential pardon to every black criminal in the system, and see how quickly Republicans might be on board with voting for a constitutional amendment to remove that power. Instant would be my guess.
Okay, you want to back it up a bit, or are you just going to go ahead?
And I suspect that is why Texas's top courtroom lawyer for the U.S. Supreme Court, the person named the Solicitor General, didn't even bother signing these papers yesterday. So here's the complaint.
That's not a good sign.
What it says is that this state, Texas, is complaining that 4 other states had election improprieties. And so they're asking the U.S. Supreme Court to hear the case. Now, there are a bunch of serious problems with this. First, the Supreme Court doesn't like it when you run into their court first without going through lower courts. They want ventilation of issues in your specific case. So if you can resolve the dispute in other places, you're supposed to do so first. Texas didn't even bother to do so. So for example, one case I was involved in a few years ago, the states around Colorado were upset that Colorado legalized pot. And so they said, this marijuana is hurting us, it's going to pour over our borders and the like, and they ran into the U.S. Supreme Court. The Supreme Court said, we're not hearing this case. It's really, you can run right into the Supreme Court when it's something where there's no other place. Like if there's a river dispute, like I used to live in New Hampshire, the Connecticut River borders New Hampshire and Vermont. If there's a dispute about that river, well, that's the kind of thing it's unfair to be in one state court or another state court or the like. And so that's why you have it going straight to the Supreme Court. But here, this is the opposite. And indeed, most of the allegations in Texas's case are the same as the ones brought in the other 55 cases, the ones that have been thoroughly rejected time and again. And a brief filed just tonight by Kristi, Todd Whitman, and other Republicans.
Damn you, Kristi!
In the U.S. Supreme Court labels this thing for what it is.
I don't know, all you white people look alike to me.
It's a stunt. It's an attempt to undermine our election and undermine our democracy. So there's more problems with this. Like, for example, Texas can't even begin to explain what kind of interest they have in the election procedures of other states. I mean, if this theory are right, could Illinois now sue Texas because they think Texas has bonkers, election rules on voter ID or what?
Yeah, that's
the point you made.
Yeah, absolutely. As soon as this goes down, this is why that I said on my show yesterday. This is why these other states have joined, specifically because they know it's going to fail. They want to virtue signal and placate Trumpist gobshites in their own state because they know re-election's coming all the fucking time. Elections never stop in America; it's just a cycle,
Nope.
So they're trying to do that, but they desperately don't want a case to actually ever succeed in this because as soon as it does, money-rich California will sue the shit out of every red state in the country for its voter ID laws, and Republicans become absolutely untenable on the national stage.
Yeah, and that's why this is going nowhere. It's all a publicity stunt. And anyone who takes it seriously is conning you, or they don't understand what's going on.
Temple.
Yes.
Sorry.
Whatever. Can Hawaii sue Alabama? And why limit it to elections? Why not go after marijuana or prisons or education systems that are a joke in various states. Texas better watch out. When I was growing up in the Constitution, it was conservatives who stood for federalism and states' rights. And oh, by the way, what kind of mishmash is this lawsuit? The same people who are saying throw out the election in each of these states and appoint through the state legislatures their own state of electors are the ones complaining about election fraud in other states? I mean, literally, they are inviting the most massive election fraud imaginable, throwing out everyone's votes and just replacing it with what their own party wants to do. That's ridiculous. Okay. 2 big procedural actions today that I know you're concerned about. 1, 17 different states filed a brief supporting this Texas lawsuit. Now, before you jump off a cliff, understand they don't say that Trump is right. They just say that his arguments are important. Now, this is a brief largely signed by political officers.
Oh, and I felt slightly sorry for the Iowa dude. Poor old Iowa. Poor old Iowa. The Republican was really pissed off, the Attorney General of Iowa, because Iowa wasn't invited to sign with the other 17 states. Oh, bless him. Like, even when I want to do some fucking fraud, they don't think of me. Oh.
No.
I just wanted to overthrow a country, and I'm not even invited to the party. Oh, better go back to the cornfield.
Attorney generals, not the courtroom top lawyers and the like. But in any event, this brief on the merits is not going to matter. You can't turn water into wine with a brief like this. It's just water. And it's dirty water at that. And it's actually a sad moment.
I love that dirty water.
We're witnessing
that,
the
where did that come
abandonment of
from?
law for politics.
They play it after the Red Sox games, so it's a song I'm fond of. So, yeah.
Okay.
By these folks. I mean, these state attorneys general have really important jobs. They are the chief law enforcement officers in each of their states. And if you're someone who's been locked up by one of these attorneys general, you have to wonder, how lawless could they be? What kind of contempt do they have for democracy and freedom and our most basic rights? It's quite reprehensible. So that's the first thing that happened. These states have filed a friend of the court brief. Going nowhere, don't worry about it. Second, Trump himself said he's going to intervene in the Texas lawsuit. So he's basically saying, I'm a separate party, but I want to join it. Now, things don't quite start out so auspiciously for him, because reports tonight are indicating that his legal filing for his separate action appears to have been written by the same state lawyer from from Texas, the same guy that Texas hired to file their lawsuit. They just forgot to delete the metadata. So that's a no-no, but in any event, serious problem there. And in any event, look, it's probably the intervention motion is going to get granted, so Trump will be able to say, I'm a party to this new lawsuit being brought. That isn't going to do anything. That's about the only victory Trump is going to have.
But they'll trumpet that, like, yeah, victory at the Supreme Court. Woo! Give me money, lots of money. Money. And then that's how they'll get millions from idiots.
More money.
Even though it's literally mean. It just means they'll have to reprint the fucking thing that says plaintiffs, state of Texas, and Trump.
I got, in the space of 24 hours, 7 email solicitations from the Trump campaign.
Oh, yeah.
Like under Eric's name or Don Jr. or Trump or... it's just... And
I've
never given them money.
They've been raking it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they don't care about tearing down the Republic to do it.
No, of course not.
In this lawsuit, it's kind of like, when you file a motion to extend the due date by a day because you need an extra day to file your papers. Courts generally grant that. And so Trump is like...
They didn't for Rudy. Lol.
Gonna probably win that, and he's gonna win a motion. So I guess he can say he won something, but what he's gonna win is insignificant and tiny. So, dear...
Like his dick. Like his dick. Like his dick. Dick.
I'm just gonna let you guys think that.
Viewers, nothing today changes anything. Donald Trump has lost, as he has every day since November 3rd.
He really has. He's made losing like a kind of daily thing now.
Yes.
He really
has. What court case did he lose today? Yeah.
Yeah.
So feel better, everyone. Don't
Exactly.
get too stressed about this.
Yeah, he's
And
managed to
unlike
turn.
the
He's managed to
election,
turn
people turn
one
out.
election loss into fucking dozens of the things. He's lost
Yeah,
Georgia
there's a-
3 times
Yeah.
now. I think he's lost Wisconsin twice.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, amazing.
Biden expanded his lead by a couple.
Yeah,
A little over.
yeah, and he
100
only
votes
had Trump only had to spend $3 million for that. Well done, well done. Anyway, so yeah, we get that nonsense, of course, and then
and actual reality and actual facts. So.
yeah. So do we want to move on to someone else's take on this?
Oh please! Now neither of us have seen this.
No, but let's have a look.
Oh, you guys are excited, aren't you?
Oh no, we've gone blank. There we go. Apologies.
Lotus flower bomb whale?
What? I pressed Lotus and that came. Oh right, I only went down 2, and I meant to go down 3.
I was watching this. I was watching this happen, and I'm like, why is he picking?
I pressed.
whatever
I
was?
went down. Come on, it's 1 down. Leave me alone.
Lotus flower bomb whale bomb.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Amazing. Yes. So I did skip
Isn't
forward
there a
to.
segment?
I did skip forward
Okay.
to this to see that Joey was in it. Otherwise, it would just be Sargon, and then we wouldn't have Carl and Joey.
Sargon and Joey.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought we were gonna watch the one about Texas, but this must be a more recent one.
Yeah, we
From
didn't.
today.
Didn't we watch the one about Texas? And this is basically
maybe we
about
did.
Texas anyway. The battle lines have been drawn.
Yeah, and that's from today. That's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's from today. So.
So
I
anyway,
haven't seen this
let's
one
watch Carl and the Verge do his thing.
yet. Joey.
Come on, play.
You're the neo-confederacy, sorry.
Oh my god. Oh for fuck. Oh, I fucking hate the world. I swear to God. Right,
Is this an ad?
turn up. No, I pressed that instead of play, and it went on to 2 children die in a house fire, which is the next
That's-
thing. On, yeah, brilliant. Thanks.
History doesn't repeat, but it does rhyme. That's a phrase that has been proving incorrect.
Why did you say it then? Because it's not relevant to anything, then, is it, you dopey bastard?
Let me show you how clever I am by disproving this, aphorism. Is that the word I'm looking for?
Yeah, well, 2 in the hand is worth fucking 7 in the bush. That's not correct. Moving on.
Let me show you.
Yeah, who cares? Fuck's sake.
Because the Texas Supreme Court case against the 4 states that they have alleged have conducted electoral malfeasance is totally snowballing into what I think is going to be the fault lines of what will effectively be the Second American Civil War.
Oh, great. He's gone Tim Pool.
I said it in the title of my thing as a joke, because it's obviously hyperbolic. He thinks this
Yeah.
is going to be a civil war. Okay, babe. Okay.
Great.
And I think
Okay.
that this will be the case because the Democrats have too much to lose, and so do the Republicans. But I think that
That's
What?
again. That's I think shows you the framing. The Democrats have too much to lose, and so do the Republicans. Like so, even when the Republicans are doing the exact same thing, you focus on
Yeah.
the Democrats and then downplay the Republican. Again, that's whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because, it's not the white supremacists who do the vast majority of political violence in the United States.
No.
Oh, wait. Damn it. They are. That's exactly who does it.
the moral right is on the side of the Republicans here, because I think that they are right that
What?
the means are the things that justify the ends. And so if you adhere to the process, then that is how you determine what a good outcome is. Whereas
By the way, we won't be doing Sargon's thing
Whoa, whoa.
every time. We've got the
Whoa,
intro,
what?
so it's I'm doing that. Go on, Sarah.
No, I'm just this word salad. Can you? I'm sorry. I know we don't often. We try to avoid this, I should say. Can you go back 10 seconds? Because I'm trying to follow this line of thought, and it seems like a jumbled mess of garbage.
that the means are the things that justify the ends. And so if you adhere to the process, then that is how you determine what a good outcome is. Whereas the Democrats appear to have the opinion that the good outcome is predetermined and the means are merely a method of obfuscating or denying that.
Motherfucker, you've literally and Trump has called on them to say that they want Trump to just be declared the winner. They're the ones that are about ends here.
Yes. Yeah,
Entirely.
they're doing they're throwing everything they can against the wall, to, spaghetti against the wall and see what sticks to overturn the election. They didn't like
they wanted an audit when they didn't lose that. They wanted recounts when they didn't win that. They then wanted to overturn the results of the or to have a different slate of electors happen.
Yep.
You're now getting the you can't do that. That just needs to be wiped out completely. Then when they win on Monday in the Electoral College, they're going to say no, that doesn't count. We need to do blah 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 and just anoint a king or something. I don't know.
Yeah, so I looked a little bit at Marx v. Stimson, and in
What
case,
Karl Marx up to? What's he up to?
Yes, he's up to voter fraud apparently.
No.
But in that case, it was actually an instance where the election turned on, or potentially could have turned on, the number of absentee ballots, and those were demonstrated to have not had good provenance, that there were named people who were engaging in behaviors that they didn't allow the other side to do, and were helping basically one side more than the other. So, there are cases where the courts have investigated these things and ordered, some ballots to be thrown out or whatever else. But in all of these instances, and Carl ignores this completely, all of the courts are saying you don't have any evidence. Just someone coming up and telling a story isn't evidence. It might be part of evidence, but you need the physical evidence, or you need corroborating affidavits from people who were, So, yes, it's just ridiculous the way that he's turned this around as a 180.
Yeah.
And I think that's backwards. I think that's the wrong philosophy to adopt.
You are backwards, yes.
But this conflict is essentially putting the Democrats back into their old position of arguing for states' rights. It's a neo-confederacy, if you will.
No.
No. What?
What? Genuinely, what the fuck are you talking about?
What is he talking about? Okay, so the issue of states' rights comes up when the federal government is trying to do some kind of overreach beyond what the 10th Amendment allows for, or has been interpreted to allow for. It's not when states have arguments with each other. That's not a debate over states' rights.
Also, again, the Civil War wasn't about states' rights, Carl.
No.
So, I mean, even your little snide jab there is shit.
Yes.
21 states have
Northern
now
aggression
joined Texas in their complaint against the 4 alleged offending states. And a huge neo-confederacy has been assembled by the Democrats. Can we get the map up? So,
can you pause it and go back? Remember how we said that when you do a friend of the court filing, you don't join the case?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Robert Barron's there says 17 states joined the lawsuit. No, they didn't.
No.
And this guy, Huan Sin Chan, it's not 21 states that have joined it. They just signed on to a letter saying, this is a cool case.
Yeah,
that was it.
Yeah, also, if the Democrats have created a neo-confederacy, what exactly are Texas doing?
Yes.
Assembled by
How is it a neo-confederacy?
It's not. It's not. He just wants to carry on. He wants to LARP as Civil War man or whatever.
It helps, if he actually knew what the Civil War is about, as opposed to just inventing a history and using terms he doesn't
Robert
understand.
E. Twat over here wants to LARP as a fucking Civil War general.
Map up. So, on the left, you can see how the states ostensibly voted in the 2020 presidential election, and on the right, you can see the
ostensibly,
states
like how they did.
The lawsuit either.
Yeah, exactly. Ostensibly. Fuck off, Carl.
Yeah,
anyway.
Like all the certified. I think maybe Wisconsin was the only one who didn't certify the results by Safe Harbor Day. So yes, I mean you could put the question in Wisconsin's just the next day or something like that.
Yeah.
So.
And if you want to say, I mean, look, 4 states that voted for Trump haven't joined by this time anyway. Alaska, Kentucky, West Virginia, and Iowa. Whereas one that did, North Carolina, actually sided against them. So, I mean, if you want to talk about, cross party a little bit, Carl, just saying, bro.
The for or against. it's pretty close. It's pretty similar. And those states that were otherwise Republican, but in the last election voted Democrat, like Arizona, still have apparently Republican attorney generals. The divide is obviously
Attorneys General, you twat.
partisan. And the source of the obviously partisan divide is philosophical. It's about values. It's about what you think, what you define to be right and wrong. Now, the
Oh, he's smacking
Smack
again.
more, please. He's smacking again. Carl, seriously, it's so gross to listen to you smack. It's so gross.
Fucking kill me. Now.
the Neo-Confederacy is comprised of the District of Columbia, with the states and territories of California, Colorado, Connecticut, Delaware, Guam, Hawaii, Illinois,
Oh my
Maine,
God,
Maryland,
he's gonna read them
Massachusetts,
all
Minnesota,
out.
Nevada, New Jersey, New
Oh,
Mexico,
God.
New York.
You have a map, dude.
Kill me.
Oh,
I said
God,
kill
you have a
me.
map.
If you'd killed me when I said kill me, I wouldn't have had
I
to
have a
listen to
fucking
this.
map, Carl. You don't need to read out the fucking list.
No.
North Carolina, Oregon, Rhode Island, Vermont, Virginia, U.S. Virgin Islands, and Washington. They call themselves the Amici or Amici states.
Kill me. Kill me. Kill me now. Kill me. They call themselves the Amici states. Ah.
But he listens to all these lawyers, all these other lawyers, Kevin,
It's Latin.
who talk about these
It's
things.
Latin, Carl. They're not the Amici states, because the 17 that you like are also Amici states, you dopey cock. we went through it, did it? It's friend of the court.
Yes, amicus
Yeah.
curiae or amicus brief. Yes.
Amici states, fuck's sake. Now I'm just thinking of John Amici, the former NBA player, the British guy. Who I think, was he the first ever NBA player to come out as gay, I think, as well.
Oh, God. Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm still on the Italian pronunciation of a different word entirely.
Hey, Amici! Enter me Amici states! It's not racist, Carl said it. So it can't be racist, he's not a racist. Anyway.
Which is a legal term. They're effectively giving legal aid. And just speak.
Again, legal aid is a different concept, Carl. It's a very different concept.
No. No, they're not giving aid. They're just like, as we said, expertise and insight, a background, something. But here it's just, we think this is cool. Like, they don't have any extra arguments in this.
Speaking up in support of, what was it, Pennsylvania, Georgia, and the other states.
Wisconsin, Michigan.
It's on the fucking screen, you dopey shit!
Look at your fucking screen, Carl.
Oh, it's so infuriating listening to this nonsense. But especially when they've got it on the screen and he's like, Pennsylvania, the Amici ones. The Amici ones. You've got the Midwest, you've got the Pacific Northwest, you've got the Amici states. Fucking hell.
And it's really, very interesting because they accept no legitimacy in the concerns of Texas, even though I think that there's more than enough evidence to show that Texas has legitimate grievances and
No. No, I don't even know. I mean, I don't care anymore. Just no.
Carl, like, it's for federal issues that can't be resolved because of bias that, like states, again, boundary issues.
Yeah.
The states have their own state courts for these things. To, an independent judicial branch on the state level for the state constitution to see if it's being interpreted according to the spirit and the letter of the law.
concerns in this regard.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
And honestly, it kind of seems like old times for the Democrats. Not going to lie. I'm not impressed with the way that they run their states. I'm certainly not impressed with the way that they run their cities. And I think calling...
Oh, no, I'm sure they're devastated, Carl. I'm sure they will lose a lot of sleep over that.
We want to look at educational outcomes. You want to look at median outcomes. You want to look at health outcomes. You want to look at life expectancy statistics. Blue states versus red states.
Yeah. State, province, tables. Okay. That's not right at all.
Oh, that's just the alphabet.
Yeah. Your state's database set?
Don't know if they would have. You'd have to do like ranking blue states, red states,
Okay.
something like that. I think, because this will just list, presumably.
Red states versus blue states. Rich, poor. Who's bailing out who? Okay.
Blue states rank better than the red ones. Right underneath that.
Yep. A school of thought, attention, blah 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 blah. Just give me a
Go to the
table.
one that, yeah, go back and go to the one underneath this one.
Best grades are found in New Hampshire, Utah, and Washington. Worst, Louisiana, Mississippi, and West Virginia. Wonder which way that went. Blue states were better than red states in 2018. Blue states scored better two ways: high overall rankings versus red states, and better average grades in 8 to 14 separate ranking topics: livability, raising a family, healthcare, education, economy, job growth, personal freedoms, and workers' rights. Red states graded higher in 6 subjects: population growth, cost of living, lower
Cost of
taxes,
living.
business friendliness, which is like corporatism, and government solvency, because they're being bailed out by the national government. Surprisingly, I've said this before, but and we was it the top 5 were New Hampshire, Utah, Washington, Colorado, Minnesota. All but Utah voted blue in 2016. The bottom 5 were Louisiana, Mississippi, West Virginia, Kentucky, and Arkansas. All red states. Fair indication, Carl. If I were you, I'd look at the red states and how they're run. But of course, he just means black people, doesn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
There are black
He's just
people
thinking,
in,
where
like,
does BLM march?
Detroit and Los Angeles and Chicago and places like that.
The democratic fiefdoms is not illegitimate, as some of my friends have called them. And as Candace Owen says, black people should leave the democratic plantation once again.
Yeah, and she's clearly representative of black people. Yeah.
You know,
I
I
don't think she's
mean, if you look at the seniority and the positions of status and power that a lot of African or Black Americans have in Congress, they aren't Republicans. The party that has the diversity and actually have people who have lived experience in America are Democrats. They run as Democrats and they serve as Democrats, not Republicans.
Well, obviously, in the chat, it's a point I've made before. The exact stats here. California and New York alone pay 32% of taxes used in red states. Yeah. If it weren't for places like, no offense to any of the random ones that pop to my mind, but I'll go with North Dakota, Idaho, Nebraska, Louisiana's got New Orleans, I suppose. But so those kind of places don't offer financially a great deal to the United States. Sure, they offer lots of other things, cultural, historical, in terms of civic contributions and all the rest of it. But financially, they would not survive. They would be essentially third world countries on their own. Don't pretend that California and New York aren't bailing you motherfuckers out, because that's exactly what
Really,
they're doing.
you could collapse North and South Dakota into just Dakota, and nothing
Yeah.
much would change.
I think collapse is the word. Yes. Yeah. You could collapse.
I mean, just
the Dakotas.
border-wise,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. Well, I don't think they should get 2 senators each. They should have 1 senator for
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
the Dakotas and Montana
Dakotas.
together. You get 1 fucking
minimum.
senator. No, we changed the rules. You get 1 senator, you motherfuckers. No one lives there. That 1 senator, the 10 of you that live in those 3 states can choose one of the 10, and you get to be the senator. Because this is ridiculous. You've got 50-odd million people in California. You've got 2 senators.
Yeah.
You're having a fucking laugh. Sorry. It's not democratic. It's ridiculous. Sorry. It doesn't matter.
Wrong there either.
Well, again, it's
But
meant to
anyway.
make sure that the smaller states aren't always outvoted by the big states, because in the House of Representatives, that's what happens.
Yeah, but they keep electing
States like that has
racist
the most-
idiots who fuck up the country. They
Well, that's
can't
more
be
of a problem with
trusted.
the voters.
They can't be
That's more of a
trusted,
problem with the
so you
voters
take
than
their
the
toys
system.
away from them. They've shown themselves
you're blaming-
consistently to elect fucking Mitch McConnell and his ilk. You can't be
Kevin,
trusted.
here's
You have the toy taken
No.
away until you prove that you can
this
use
case-
it correctly.
No, in this situation, you gotta hate the player, don't hate the game.
I hate both the player and the game.
That's because you want to be a player.
The
Bitch, I am a player. How dare you? How How dare you? I'm the ultimate player.
Yeah, this is just the Attorney
Ginger.
General confirming more states joining
DJ Ginger.
the Republicans, who, again, seem to have right on their side. And this has...
What? You can't just assert that, Carl. You haven't shown anything.
No, he never does.
Fucking dirtbag.
not been well accepted
It's a right-wing
by,
echo chamber.
say the Pennsylvania Attorney General Josh Shapiro, who has outright called Texas seditious in his filing on Thursday.
Well, he said it was a seditious use of legal powers. I don't think he was literally saying you're guilty of sedition, to be fair.
Also, he wasn't calling Texas guilty. He was saying the Attorney General of Texas. Because, like the Solicitor General didn't even sign on. The people of Texas don't have any say in this.
Yeah.
So it's not like all of Texas is guilty of seditious behavior. That's not a correct reading of what that was.
No.
Straight up lie.
He said, Texas's effort to get this court to pick the next president has no basis in law or in fact. The court should not abide this seditious abuse of the judicial process and should send a clear and unmistakable signal that such abuse must never be replicated. Highly suspicious. Not even, you can't
What?
say that.
You can
What?
say it, Carl. You can.
Sorry, what? What? How is that suspicious?
No, he said,
How is it
no,
suspicious to have an
Kristi,
opinion?
you're misquoting him. He didn't say that. You said suspicious.
So he did. We should. Oh God, it would kill me. But I should just put together of all of his smacking from one episode and just upload it and tag him into it on Twitter.
Yeah, you should. That would be the most cursed video on YouTube. Yeah.
About the things that are being alleged. There is enough evidence to show, video evidence and sworn witness testimony, that suggests that, yes, there was a procedural problem with the way that these elections in these areas were carried out.
Pause. But that's not Texas. Texas case is at like the legislative institutional. It wasn't about voters and videos that have been debunked because those were just not bins. They were bins, not suitcases.
Yeah.
Numpty head.
And by the way, Carl, you should watch yourself because, as I covered yesterday, YouTube blog thingamajig. Hang on, YouTube blog banned something or other. Banned.
Oh, is this about the election fraud claims?
Yeah. Oh, but that's so annoying. Why wouldn't news? Give me news. There we go. Fuck it, we'll go to the Jakarta Post. For some reason, Google decided that was the best one. YouTube bans new videos claiming US election fraud. On their blog, I covered it yesterday. Any new cases? Oh, we've got some arse there. Nice.
Yeah.
As of Wednesday going forward, any new videos are claiming election fraud as like a fact and that it swayed the election will be taken down. Which you can think is right or wrong, but considering I've had shit taken down by racists because I said to say racists are bad, I'm not going to feel too sorry for them.
No, I think that there is an issue of like just basic threats to democracy. If you're using YouTube to organize and agitate people by spreading a lie that's going to end up in a civil war.
Yeah.
Because people are going to say I was cheated because people are making those claims. I can see where there's a liability issue there, shall we say?
Yeah. Yeah, basically, correct. And also again, the last time we looked at him, his source was an obvious hack writing in a far right blog for the Heritage Foundation. This time. He's gone for the much more neutral Breitbart.
Right. And also, his evidence is a Twitter video of people taking bins out from underneath the table.
Yeah.
And sworn affidavits, but that's not.
Sworn affidavits from people like fucking Melissa Carone, who said that the Obamas paid the Wuhan lab to invent COVID-19. Yes. I'll be honest, I don't think her word is worth the steam off my piss. Okay?
Yeah, or just get in a fight with a Republican about how many signatures there are in a ward or how many voters there were.
Yeah, literally claiming that he's part of the election effort to what did he say? Did you do something crazy to the voter list or something? That motherfucker was endorsed by Trump.
Yep.
He's a Trump ball licker. He asked a very simple question based on we don't see the thing you're claiming in the election book, and now he's part of the deep state.
That's how it happens.
Fuck me sideways.
It just takes accusations. Just denounce people. That's all it takes.
Yeah.
In their world. Not evidence. Just denunciations.
Yeah.
And it seems that this is so cut and dried that even Pennsylvania are filing against themselves. Pennsylvania's House Speaker and majority...
No, motherfucker. What? No. Let's not mix up things here, you dopey lying bastard. Right? And he's gone to the Epoch Times for this one. Oh, my...
Is that the Falun Gong people?
The Falun Gong. Basically, Chinese alt-right. Weird, culty people, like anti-miscegenation people. Like that bad, right? Crazy motherfuckers who claim that Donald Trump won California. Just saying.
That's a benchmark for you.
Yeah, not exactly the... I think their final tally was that Donald Trump had won 416 or something, electoral college votes. Yeah, naturally. Anyway, it's the attorneys general of various states that have put this together. The one in Texas and then 17 others or whatever. This is the GOP part of the Pennsylvania House of Representatives. So not the Pennsylvania AG, because you quoted him 2 minutes ago. His name is Josh Shapiro. You quoted him saying it was a seditious use of the judicial process. You fucking twat.
Already out of his head.
Jesus Christ. But he's now just mixing up. Well, this one guy who works at Walmart in fucking North Dakota said it. So Walmart's come out against it. Like, no, that's not how any of this works. Fucking hell.
Majority leader
We did this before. Didn't we see it was one congressman that came out and he said Congress had done something?
Yeah. Well, numbers.
Yeah.
1, 100, whatever.
Yeah. Then amici curiae, brief with
it's called Amici. Please.
Yes, the Amici state.
The Amici states. I'm going to call them... They're the Amici states now. They are.
Oh, Dom Amici, that's the other person.
But you don't. Wisconsin isn't one of the Amici states because it's one of the defendants, isn't it?
Oh, probably. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So
I don't think. Well, I think also a Democrat is the AG there. So
yeah,
I'm not sure about that. But I think if the governor is, I think they swept the statewide races 2 years ago. So
I don't know.
the Supreme Court against the state of Pennsylvania and in favor of Texas's lawsuit against the Commonwealth and 3 other states. Quote, the unimpeachability of our elections requires clear procedures of administration so that...
Which, by the way, this is especially delicious because Pennsylvania, these motherfuckers, are claiming that laws they passed are wrong.
Yes.
Okay, well done.
That's how toady they are.
Yeah, you're literally saying... Yeah, well, yeah, they are. They are literally flagellating themselves before the king. What we did was wrong. I'm sorry, my lord. And whipping
Because Trump came to talk to these guys. In Michigan, too, I think.
Yeah.
everyone gets a fair shake. Unfortunately, outside actors have so markedly twisted and gerrymandered the Commonwealth's election code.
The idea that the GOP are going to accuse the people of gerrymandering. Fuck off.
Oh, by the way, Baruch in the chat writes, just ask my lawyer mom, it's pronounced Amiki.
Amiki. Okay.
Well,
oh, so now no one says, now I hear Mr. Meeseeks. Yeah.
To the point that Amici find it unrecognizable.
He's now said Amici again. You pronounced it, well, at least what we thought was correct at the start of this, having mispronounced it before, and now you're mispronouncing it again.
Yep.
Whatever.
Chi.
Yeah, he's gone back to the chi. Yeah.
From the laws they have enacted. And he wrote, adding, the state of Texas raised important questions about how this procedural malfeasance affected the 2020 election. I completely agree with that statement. I think.
Well, I'm glad, Carl, because that means it'll definitely lose then. Good. Because you've got no idea what you're talking about.
No.
And as we've covered in previous podcasts, more than enough evidence to suggest that the Democrats have acted inappropriately and, at the very least, This would be worthy of an investigation.
Only the Democrats.
So this is a map of the population.
But they're not ordering an
of the
investigation.
density of the two factions.
Hold on, pause it. An investigation. They went through the lower courts. What investigation does he want? Who's going to do this investigation? What is he talking about?
Not just that. Hang on a minute. You've got so this is the population sizes or something. I don't know. And then what has Pennsylvania been made? Is that a Sopranos bit or something? What?
Don't know that. Is that Colin Firth?
Colin Farrell.
Oh yes, Farrell.
Is that Donald Trump shooting Colin Farrell?
Is it Chris? No, it's Chris Farrell shooting Colin Farrell.
Is it?
That looks a bit like Chris Farrell, doesn't it?
It's either Donald Trump. It's either Donald Trump or Meatloaf shooting Colin Farrell as Colin Farrell has a gun to his own head. As the state of Pennsylvania, though, for some reason. What?
I don't understand this.
I don't get the right can't mean. They can't. They don't know what they're doing.
No.
Anyway, let's listen to Carl.
It's from In Bruges.
Oh, so it's the Irish guy. Oh, okay. Sorry. Yes, I'm with you. Yeah.
It does look like Donald Trump, though.
The guy with the great C word rant. He does an amazing C word rant where it's like, the way you know a C word is a C word is because they act like a C word, and then it just goes on for like a minute. It's brilliant. Anyway.
As you can see, Texas and California being the two big boys on the map, with the flyover states.
And as I said, Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota, no one lives there.
Yeah.
No, you get one fucking senator, dickheads. One.
Making up the remaining body, and Florida, of course, of the Republican cause.
Going over there now.
The blue states, led by California and New York, the Neo-Confederacy, led by the Democrat-run...
How is it a Neo-Confederate? It makes no sense.
It doesn't make any sense.
No.
Deeply Democrat California and New York, with Pennsylvania putting a gun to its own head, and I guess we'll see who pulls the trigger first.
What?
What? That's not what the picture shows. Smack, smack.
What? But what does he mean? What?
I don't know. I don't know. He thinks that's deep.
It's deeply wrong. Yeah.
It's deeply confusing.
What does any of that mean? Honestly.
Also, there's two people. There are two guns being held to their head. So who is the other person in this picture, Carl?
Yeah. I don't know.
And why is Pennsylvania holding a gun to its head? Because the Speaker of the House filed something and the AG didn't participate in the suit? That's not... I mean, who cares?
Let's not try and dig too deeply into it because it's nonsense. Either way, it's bollocks.
We're making more of an effort to make it make sense than he did.
Yeah. Also, got to bear in mind, on this map, the Upper Peninsula isn't a peninsula anymore. It's just part of Michigan.
Yes, it's gone.
Joined.
Wisconsin is...
Yeah. Wisconsin's enveloped. Wisconsin doesn't even border anything anymore to the north there.
It's being eaten by Michigan.
Yeah.
It's like a monster. It's like a dinosaur.
You're being double teamed by Minnesota and Michigan now.
Yes. It's like an alligator and a dinosaur eating a piece of cheese, fighting over a piece of cheese.
So you had to go cheese, didn't you? Like, we get it. We get it. Yeah, cheese. Cheese. Yeah, okay. Jesus. You have people at your football games wearing cheese hats. It's weird.
Wedges. They're wedges, Kevin.
They're hats. They're on their fucking heads. They look weird.
No, they're foam wedges.
Make them stop.
They're cheddar wedges with Swiss cheese holes, which doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't make any sense.
No, it really doesn't.
This is something that I'm genuinely concerned about. I know that we're making jokes about it and that there's memes here, but this
is there.
I think that
I don't know about you, but you need to be funny for that to be jokes, really.
Yeah.
Don't you?
Yes. I mean, weird cracks and laughing at yourself isn't.
Yes.
I don't think.
Things do go as it looks to me like these things are going. And I say this as just a student of history. I'm a big fan of reading about revolutions and the causes of revolutions and civil wars all through history in various different kinds of states. This, to me, seems like an irreconcilable problem because, and we'll talk about this as we go into the Hunter Biden story. I think the Democratic Party is so
Of course, they're going to talk about the Hunter Biden story.
Of course.
Of course, they are.
riddled with.
I don't know that they were that focused on Donald Trump's taxes.
Or his kids.
No. Yeah.
Corruption, that so many people have too much to lose and would lose it all, that it will come down to war. I don't
By
think
winning?
they'll accept the people who have been behind all of this being put behind bars. Anyway, so the Texas Attorney General went on. Should we go see Steven Crowder clip rather?
Who's
than the Fox
going
News
behind
clip,
bars? Sorry. Who the fuck is going behind bars? Democrats for not doing anything illegal and just winning an election? What is he even talking about?
I don't know. Well, that's their whole thing. Just pretend that you're going to lock someone up, and then we'd lock her up, and then 4 years later, she's still like about. She's still fine. Like, okay.
If you had any evidence, you would have presented it in court. Talk about that, Carl. Oh my God.
Help out a fellow content creator. He went on Steven Crowder's show, and this is what he said.
So you know he's a serious figure when he goes on Steven Crowder. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that
cool.
guy. Yeah.
All right, here we go. Why should citizens want their AGs to join the fight?
Because I think that they are being disenfranchised. If your state followed state law and produced election results that were based on state law as required by the U.S. Constitution, and other states said, we're not going to follow those constitutional requirements, we're not going to follow our state law.
Which Texas didn't do. And you haven't tried to stop that
by the same metric
as the Attorney General of that state.
Yeah.
So
I don't understand what he means by the Constitution, like forcing the states to do their laws constitutionally. I mean, you can appeal those things and have them interpreted, but again, you need standing.
Their whole argument
and there
is
has to be constitutional issues, and there aren't any here.
Well, their whole argument has to be that that the legislatures have to decide the rules. But the thing is, on a temporary basis, there are in all of these laws there are powers that get not abrogated. What the phrase I'm looking for?
Enacted or activated?
Subsumed or whatever within other acts within those states, which allow for emergency powers. So, for instance, if there's like a global pandemic which is killing hundreds of thousands of your citizens, what you can do is to try and ease the tension there, ease the problem, without having to go through the legislature. A governor on a temporary basis for one election cycle can, elongate the early voting laws, as I believe the governor for the great state of Texas did, and indeed in Pennsylvania and Wisconsin and various other places. That's perfectly fine, which is why the Supreme Courts in all of those states said that was fine.
Yeah, in a lot of those states, the state Supreme Courts actually interpreted the law and said, we're going to, like in Wisconsin, they said, we'll allow this, but we won't allow you to do that because this legislative act here says you can only do it this much or whatever else. Yeah. So the courts have already interpreted their state laws, and there's nothing in the Constitution that is being violated there.
No.
So anyway, I'm restating what we've talked about before. It's crap.
And as a result, we
also look at the framing.
We can't verify
himself in the lower corner.
2.5 million ballots and.
Well, but you got Carl there, and then the Attorney General, and then this whole bit of screen with a door, and is that a light switch or a lock or something? I don't know.
Move him to the other fucking side so he's looking at the screen. Oh God, this just looks weird. He's got his head to him, you know.
Yeah. Mail-in ballots in Pennsylvania are real. Well, that's a problem for my state because my state is following the law, and now we've got all these states. We don't know what the real result is, and it affects the outcome.
Yeah, we do. They've been certified. We do know the result. We literally do know what the results are.
Yeah.
In all of the 50 states and territories. So, no.
Outcome of an election, and that affects my state.
Yeah, it affects a federal election. You have states changing laws that ultimately affect.
But there is no federal election. It's 50 separate state elections which get collected together to go to the Electoral College. There's no such thing as the federal election.
Nope. There's no federal election commission that runs the national election.
A federal election.
So the question is the United States a united country or not, really? And again, just...
Well, in the sense of there being states'
What?
rights, no. It's a collection of 50 different countries which has an overarching umbrella of federal law.
Well, and also a federal government.
Yeah, but I mean, that's practically
Yeah.
how that operates. But in terms of the legal system, it's essentially a two-level
Devolution.
thing. Yeah,
Yeah, it's a devolution.
yeah.
With states handling the things on their geography, and the federal government looking at the laws more broadly in the federal land. Things
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. So, I mean, it depends how you want to use the phrase united, but in some senses, yes, in some senses, no.
Yeah. Do you
And
mean
that's-
like agreeing on things, or legally in one body?
Yeah, like
E pluribus unum.
in some cases, in some places in the United States, you can be killed by the state. That's allowed. You can be executed for crimes, as we've seen within the last 24 hours. In some places, no. In fact, in most places, no. It's a thing. The states' rights are a thing. I mean, you can like it
Yes.
or not,
Yeah.
and I'm not a massive fan of it, if I'm honest, but I understand America's got a complex and deeply divided history on these things.
Also, it's just fucking massive.
Yeah, yeah. And they
So-
joined at different times as well, so it's all sorts of strange shit.
Just like before, the Democrats saying, well, actually, can we just have some special laws? You can ban slavery in the Republican areas if you
What?
want. If you...
No.
What?
What? No.
Well, that's
They're
a
not
fundamental
special laws.
misunderstanding of the Civil War anyway, because there were slave states in the Union even during the Civil War. Maryland, for
Yeah,
instance.
it was about going forward. Was slavery going to continue to expand, or was it going to be sort of caged in? And then the slave states are going to be outvoted by the non-slave states.
Slavery was allowed in Washington, D.C. during the Civil War as well. Just not slave trading.
I mean,
slaves.
slaves built the White House.
Yeah, slaves were allowed during the Civil War. So the idea that it was the Democrat areas wanted to have separate... No, that's not how any of that operated, Carl.
Nope.
You had, I mean, literally, that was one of the problems they had after the Civil War with the passing of the, was it 15th or 16th Amendment? Because they said the states and territories in which are in rebellion in the Emancipation Proclamation, which Maryland did not apply to, and various other places which had been taken over at that point did not apply to. So they
But
were like,
he's
well, what's the legal ramifications for that? Are we allowed to keep slavery or not? You know.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But come on, Kevin. He's a student. He loves history, especially on the causes of civil wars.
He does. He knows all of the. He knows. He's the Civil War knower. He does. Yeah.
He
does.
is. He's the woman knower.
He is. He's the woman knower. We'll get onto that later. Yes.
You feel so strongly about being against slavery and, freeing black people from bondage, but we'd like to keep ours because, it's beneficial for us, it's our plantation. And now we're back to them saying, well, you can have honest...
Oh, God. Oh, God.
He doesn't know what he's talking about.
He's going to compare voting to slavery. Okay, good.
Yep.
Good.
Yeah.
and uncorrupted elections if you Republicans want, but we would like to be able to fix our own elections if that's okay with you.
Georgia set its own rules. It is run by Republicans.
Yes.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, and everybody in the state participated in the same rules.
Yeah.
It was just that they had fewer people turn out on their side.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
Well, by
Interesting, there was no
20,000
fraud in any of the
sometimes.
places where Trump won, apparently.
No, even though they changed the laws in some of those states, I'm sure, to accommodate COVID.
Yeah, literally Texas. Texas did that. The people that are bringing the case, or the state that's bringing the case. Yeah.
Yeah.
Needless to say, I think the Republicans cannot allow some certain areas of the country run by the Democrats to essentially
Blacks. He means blacks.
Yeah.
That's what he means.
descend into banana republics and still
See what I mean? That's exactly what he means.
think that the rest of the country can function normally. This political corruption will spread if it is normalized, which it appears to be at this point, and if it's allowed to continue. It's
What?
unacceptable. It is just unacceptable.
Again, you've
Because
not
the pandemic
proven.
is going to continue.
You've not proven that there's any fraud, Carl. You still haven't done that, by the way.
No.
And by the way, YouTube, just saying, bro, you've set the rule now. There seems to be a pretty obvious violation of that rule. Just saying.
Well, isn't there? You have to say that there was election fraud and Trump won because lost because of it.
That is what he's saying, isn't it?
Oh, but he's saying okay. I guess I don't know if he's put those two things together in one sentence, but
Well, I mean, if that's literally what they mean, then that rule is meaningless because virtually none of them literally say all of that in exactly that way. But you know exactly what they mean by that. Like it's anyway.
YouTube is always unclear.
Oh yeah, YouTube's full of shit. I'd made that point. Yeah, in general, I'm okay with them getting rid of the stuff like I am with the QAnon stuff. But do you trust them to draw the line properly? No.
No.
Acceptable that they can say,
Or apply
well,
it
it's
fairly
okay for
or
us.
equitably,
It's
yeah.
if as the Attorney General there says, if it is meant to be a consistent rule set by the Constitution for the entire country, then they have to abide by it.
It isn't.
It isn't.
It isn't.
There isn't. No. That doesn't exist.
Okay. Well, I do hope that. I mean, taking Carl's incredibly brilliant legal brain here, I do hope that the Republicans won't be bothered when the federal government takes all their guns. Then. Sorry, it's the federal government gets to decide that shit now. Sorry.
There's a new law.
Yeah, exactly. Carl decided it, and therefore mandatory abortions for everyone and no more guns.
He'll get to that point.
Yeah.
You can't just say, well, no, it's okay for these 4 blue states to be deeply corrupt. I think
They're
what
not
they,
blue states. No.
Then
Time out, home slice.
Georgia's not a blue state.
Time out, home slice. The House of Representatives in Pennsylvania is controlled by Republicans. Wisconsin, up until very recently, had like a Republican governor. A very terrible one. Scott Walker, I hope you get cancer in Minecraft. Georgia is run almost entirely by Republicans. And the very Dominion voting machines that the Chinese/Venezuelan/Colombian dead communist leaders or something helped put into place was introduced by Republicans against the opposition of Democrats in Georgia.
But it's the Democrats who are corrupt.
But it's a blue state, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, babe.
The Republicans in Wisconsin basically wrote all the laws on voting.
Yeah.
And yeah, they objected to some of the things in the courts, but the court made their rulings and they kind of went, in both directions, both for what the Democrats were asking for and the Republicans. Yeah. So they didn't make anybody happy. But Carl doesn't know any of this.
Yeah.
That's right. What do you reckon?
I mean, you're not wrong.
Fuck off, Virgin. Sorry. Oh my god. Oh, no, that's bad. Bad, Kev. No.
There he is.
Oh.
There he is, little Joey.
Oh, little Joey.
In his little sack.
Mama's let him out of the pouch. Oh, that's nice.
I mean, you can almost picture the kangaroo ears on him, and the little nose.
Yeah,
little...
nibbling some eucalyptus or whatever the fuck they do. Oh, no, that's koalas, isn't it? I don't know.
Yeah, that's koalas.
I'm loving the states' rights rhyming. It's very true.
It's literally, how dare you interfere with us being corrupt in our elections?
How right you are, Carl, when you're so wrong.
Hang on, but again, you haven't proven any corruption at all. And,
no.
I mean, right, okay. I don't think there's been many Democrats or anyone, frankly, in America that's like, we're completely against states' rights. I don't think that's ever been an argument. They're just saying that maybe there are curtailments on that beyond, the obvious or whatever. Like, there are legal distinctions that can be made on that, but no one's saying states' rights is always bad.
Federal law, yeah. I mean, the rights people enjoy should be across the country, not just in places where people decide they want them or they don't.
Yeah.
And people are allowed to vote, damn you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, how is it not the same thing?
I ain't got nothing to say. It's just...
Yeah, you really haven't, have you, Joa?
No.
Why are you there?
I'm just gonna...
Why is Joey?
Should I add that to the intro? Why is Joey?
Oh, bless him. Part of me wants
empty head.
Part of me wants to hug him and just tell him everything's okay. And part of me wants to smother him with a pillow, put him out of his fucking misery. In Minecraft, obviously.
Minecraft.
Yeah,
Yes.
It's a video game. It's fine. No one gets hurt.
No, obviously. You don't. Yeah, you have contempt.
But
for
it's
him.
mercy.
I mean,
it's mercy.
He's Carl's.
I'm taking him out of pain.
In
Kristi,
Minecraft.
he's in
Come
pain.
on, Kevin.
He's in pain, Kristi.
You're gonna get this taken down. Oh God.
It's in Minecraft, though. It's a video game. It's fine. No one can get hurt in the video game.
I am kind of worried, though.
I'm moving
I
on.
think you are right to be worried. I don't know if it'll end up in
Oh,
war,
is he
though.
smacking too?
Maybe without that's long-term thinking, but I mean, what?
Do they have water in Swindon? Fucking just wet your whistle. It's fine. Good God, people.
Seriously, just keep.
You're making me
water on the
self-conscious
table.
now. I'm thinking I have to take a drink every 5 seconds to stop myself from smacking. God almighty.
It is gross.
What do you think will happen? I mean, if, let's say Trump refuses to give a concession speech. Then what?
Who cares? It's not a legal requirement. He's superfluous to this process. If he disappeared in a puff of smoke, nothing would change.
I think what was happening here is Joey is flailing. Look, there's a slight panic in his eyes as he's trying to come up with a question to give back to Carl that Carl can just natter on about. Because I think he faded for the last 3 minutes of what Carl
he hasn't got a clue. Like, he doesn't know what's being said. Are they? Hang on, shit. Are we onto the taxes thing? Are we onto Hunter Biden? I don't know what's happening. I need my mummy. No.
I think that's what happened.
Oh, that's a great question, by the way. Well, it's not Joe, it's Joey, please. Short for Joseph. How dare you? I don't know his name. Is Joey's chair getting bigger or is Joe getting smaller? It's a good question.
That's his little pouch.
I don't know. He should be getting bigger because they're supposed to grow the baby kangaroos. But what can you do? Obviously, Carl's teat is not very. Actually, no, they're not. They're not mammals, are they? How do they? I don't know. How do they feed baby kangaroos? I don't know.
I think they're mammals. They're marsupials. They're marsupials, aren't they?
Yeah, which is not a mammal.
Right, but they might still have
for fuck's sake.
breast stuff. I don't know.
They might
how
have
it works.
breast
I don't live.
stuff.
That's technical.
How do baby kangaroos eat? Probably the best known fact about kangaroos is they carry young in a pouch. Joey, hello, is protected and can feed by nursing from its mother's nipples. Oh, okay. Yeah. There you go. So anyway, yeah, Mama Sargon is not. Mama Sargon is not very nourishing, clearly.
Up.
Look at the baby kangaroo.
There's little Joey poking out, clueless.
Yeah, look at that. That creature has more knowledge of the topic that's been discussed tonight than that supposed human in Swindon. Yeah.
A hotbed of political controversies.
Indeed. Hang on. Sorry.
Hang on.
Hang on a minute.
What are you going back to?
I'm doing a thing. Leave me alone.
I love this idea. I don't know. Can the people in the chat?
They can't see this bit. Only you and me can see this bit.
Oh, all right.
Hang on. Well, I'll let the video play.
Yeah.
Well,
Go
the
ahead.
Democrats and the media have been priming everyone for the last 4 years to believe that Trump is a dictator, and that he's not going to relinquish power, and that he is going to do something illegitimate in order to maintain his hold grip over the United States. Not that he is much of a dictator
he's doing right now.
by any measure, but it doesn't matter. This is the narrative, and so there are definitely going to be millions of people who buy into the Democratic narrative, who will believe that Donald Trump has committed some kind of Caesarean coup in the United States.
Oh, Caesarean, you pretentious cockhead.
What? It is in no way like a. How would it be like a Caesarean? In what way? Does he have an army behind him somewhere where he's sat? Is there a river he needs to cross? Is there some sort of rule about like how long someone can be? It's not proconsul, but whatever the official was, and not have an army in Rome. I mean, what the fuck are you even talking about, Carl? It's nothing like it.
No. But he just wanted to say Caesarean to sound intelligent.
All he did is prove he doesn't know what he's talking about.
Interestingly, did you know Caesarean? It was always thought that it meant that he was born by Caesarean section, and that's where it gets its name.
But he wasn't.
No.
Because his mother would have died.
Yeah, the Caesarean section was done as a procedure at the time, but they always died because you couldn't stitch them back up, and you couldn't replace blood loss and all the rest of it. So and his mother was alive well into his 40s. So, so it comes from Cesare, which is to cut in Latin.
Ah.
There you go. Anyway.
Wins this lawsuit. And it seems to me, as an outsider who has no legal expertise in this regard whatsoever...
No, don't put yourself down, Carl.
Just
You're
as
a
layman,
genius.
reading the documents, reading the allegations, looking at the evidence independently that we have covered on this podcast...
What? Wait, pause. Wait. You've only covered one side of it. You've only covered the propaganda side. Why haven't you watched Neil Katyal? Why haven't you asked Lawrence Tribe? Why haven't you presented any of the decisions by the courts when they rejected
I know
the
why Kristi
plaintiffs'
laughed then.
cases?
You don't know why. I do.
Yeah, yes. And I was also filling time as Kevin was getting this ready when I was doing that rhetorical little bit there.
Well, yeah, but we need.
Yes.
Oh, hang on.
Just go back and find it. You can find episodes labeled law, election updates, where we cover all of these things. It's one of those things where it's like, okay,
Smack.
it just looks like on paper, from the constitutionalist perspective, that the Democrats are in the wrong, and that the Republicans.
What? You know, the way he says constitutionalist, there have been judges from the Federalist Society who are like the ultimate, like, we're the constitutional people, the right-wing twats,
Yeah.
who've slapped down these cases. Federalist Society judges have slapped down these cases.
We have to come back after the Supreme Court just denies this, maybe with one sentence again, and listen to how Carl makes that make sense in his little fantasy world. Because it means like the entire Supreme Court is on the side of the Democrats. Is that where you go with this?
Yeah, probably.
I mean, I don't know how he's going to get out of this. He's not providing any off ramps for himself here.
No. Okay.
Republicans are in the right, and if you care about the process, if you care about the legal methods, then the Democrats are effectively, they have lied. And I say the Democrats to mean the faction, the cathedral of the Democrats. So all the,
Oh, you fuck off.
and we'll talk more about this in the Hunter Biden thing, because it's manifestly obvious how they are working to defend the left-wing interests against the right-wing interest.
Motherfucker, they've done nothing but like
What?
attack AOC and shit. What are you talking about?
What is he? Huh? I don't know what this is. I'm confused. I'm still
But
I'm
I
still
just
confused
don't
by
see how an
cathedral.
independent observer could know what has happened and come to the conclusion the Democrats have done nothing wrong here. But
Well, that's because you're in a right-wing bubble. You're in an echo chamber.
Yeah, what did the Democrats in Georgia do wrong exactly? They
That
hand counted the
existed.
ballots.
They existed
Yes.
while black, Kristi. So
And had an opinion that wasn't fealty to Trump and the far right.
yeah. Well, actually, one of my bookmark things makes such a great point that these motherfuckers, they do genuinely see Trump as Ben Garrison sees Trump. They've just taken it
Yes.
that's a legitimate depiction of what's going on here.
He's like their Jesus.
Yeah.
If Jesus was an asshole.
Yeah. He's like their Jesus,
In
but
some
instead
ways
of
he's
saying
kind
like
of
feed the poor, it's like no, fuck the
an
poor,
asshole.
fuck the poor.
Yeah.
It's easier for a rich man to get through the
Yeah,
gate.
the eye of a needle.
Yeah, it's easier for them to get to the kingdom of heaven than the eye of a needle, because it's the other way around now. It's bad Jesus, anti-Jesus.
It's free market Jesus. You've seen that Al Franken cartoon, right?
Yeah. Free
Yes.
market Jesus. Yeah. Yeah.
Basically.
I've got all this bread and fish, but you can't have it unless you pay for it. So, yeah.
like I said, the followers of the Democrats are going to think that Trump is an unjust, tyrannical dictator, even though he's done nothing unconstitutional.
He's literally trying to overthrow a democratic election. I'd suggest that is, but whatever.
Yes.
All of this is completely within the realms of the Constitution. All of it. And,
And he's a
Supply
constitutional.
side Jesus. It was supply side Jesus.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Thank you, skeptical terrier.
Yeah,
That's
Carl is a constitutional expert, so when he says it's all constitution, that's fine. Yeah. It's true. Take that to the bank.
Yes.
I mean, I
Here
listen
at
to lots of other Republican
floaterseaters.com.
podcasters. I listen to lots of left-wing podcasters. And the
Yeah, I bet you do, Carl. I bet you
No.
do.
No, you
left-wing
don't.
podcasters are never really addressing the meat of what the Republicans are claiming, like the actual allegations. Like,
Because you've been debunked.
By courts. Not even Democrats.
Yeah.
Courts.
Podcasters don't decide on legality, Carl. I don't know if you're aware of that, mate.
Yeah, maybe like read the decisions. Try that. Look
Also,
at
when he,
standards of
when he
evidence.
says left
How
wing,
about
he means just he listens to Chapo Trapos, who are just
Oh, okay.
burnout fucking freaks at this point. That's what he means, and yeah, they don't take on that because they're just doing fucking shit jokes. That's all they do.
Yeah, that's not a source of information. No.
Keeping
so and Virgil Texas sucking his own dick, obviously, naturally.
Yeah.
out and allowing the mail-in votes to be counted like a week after the election and things like this. Things that are just, the Republicans are citing like Georgia state law.
Wait, pause. Yeah, military overseas ballots come in after the election, sometimes a week, but if they're sent and postmarked before the election, then they are valid because they were valid when they were cast. They don't stop being valid after the election day passes. You can have them up to a week sometimes.
Oh yeah,
but mostly it's just like 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, Sib makes a very good point in chat. Carl still thinks Tim Pool is left wing, so that's what he means, isn't it?
Yeah, probably listening to Tim Pool like, oh, I should talk about that on my show.
Or when Pennsylvania state law say, look, this says you can't do this, this says you can't do that. It's crystal clear. They're never addressing those things, and
because it's a podcast. The fucking lawyers and judges and shit have taken care of the meat of the situation and told them to fuck off every time.
Yeah, that's what news reports are for. Go try some mainstream media where they actually read out the decisions and talk to attorneys who know what they're talking about.
Oh no, I listened to a podcast called Stalin's fucking Gulag Hour, and they didn't address the finite minutiae of Philadelphia electoral law. Yeah, obviously.
Pretty much.
By the way, anyone wants to join me next week on Stalin's Gulag Hour? That's a new podcast I'm going to do because it sounds fun and definitely won't get taken down. Yeah, naturally.
Immediately.
I genuinely think that the Republicans are in the right, and I genuinely think that the Democrats won't back down.
They can't address any of the things because
Hang on. Finally, literally to prove my point, I've been waiting for fucking hours now to put the bastard.
Just to do this bit.
Yeah, just to put a picture of Joey over Joey. But he hasn't spoken for ages, which proves the point that he's a Joey. Fucking Christ, that joke was long in the waiting and pointless.
Oh, but I find it funny.
It amused me. It stopped amusing me. After about 2 minutes, I was thinking, shit, I've just got this on fucking hidden now. And not just that, but I'll forget.
We're just waiting.
And then come next time, I'll have this picture and I'll unmute it and I'll just have a picture of a baby kangaroo and think, what the fuck, what was I doing here? Anyway, sorry.
All right, let's hear what he has to say.
address them would to mean that it's not a big conspiracy theory, as they say.
Exactly.
Which is not how it's going to go.
I mean, Josh Shapiro just dismissed it. No, it wasn't Josh Shapiro, but yesterday we covered how one lawyer, legal professor from California, said it's garbage, dangerous garbage, but garbage. It's like, but that's not
bigger.
That's not addressing the points. Tell us why. Tell us what the detail is.
But the point I was trying to get at was, if let's say they lose this lawsuit and the rest of them, and it's Joe Biden sworn in, and Trump refuses to give a concession speech, I can't imagine there being any massive uproar from the conservatives in an illegal or physical way. I can imagine a lot of Tea Party stuff. I can imagine.
Oh yeah, you can't imagine any far-righters doing violence.
Wow, how you are so young.
But the thing is, he's young, but he was around for Christchurch. He was around for the Tree of Life Synagogue.
Joey was?
Yeah. He's not 3 years old, is he? He knows that these things happen. These are all within the span of Trump's presidency, right? He's fully aware that, or should be fully aware that there were the two people who drove from drove from Virginia to Philadelphia, to Pennsylvania, with guns and apparently a small amount of high explosives material that was they were going to try and kill people at the polling stations. Because Trump had said, there's election malfeasance happening, or election fraud happening in Philadelphia. Mm-hmm. But he's confident that no right-wingers are going to do anything, because they wouldn't. Right-wing people don't do violence. Don't be silly.
Yeah, that's not going to age well.
No.
I fear.
A lot of mass protests, things like this. But if it's the other way around, I think you're right, but not war, but more just massive expansion of the current terrorism that's already going on in the United States. So the
what? With the massive amount of terrorism that's been going on.
Right wing.
Well, no, he means Antifa, smash some windows.
Oh, I thought he was talking about that younger guy, computer tech in Georgia, who got targeted by people online because he moved some kind of file from one thing to another. And Republican state elections guy came out to say, knock it off to the right, not the left.
And of course, the attempted kidnapping of the governor in Michigan.
Yeah, Michigan.
Whitmer.
Yep. Yeah.
And that crazy motherfucker. Do you remember the van? This was in the early days of the Trump administration. The crazy motherfucker in Florida with the van with all the Trump weird stickers on the outside. Who was sending pipe bombs to people.
Yep.
There's some pretty dangerous
That's
motherfuckers.
your side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's certain that right wingers won't react.
You guys don't address it.
Yeah.
Left-wing groups that are currently throwing Molotovs at the police, them going up to their state level.
Who's doing this? Is that happening? I must have missed that. Okay.
Yeah, I missed that too. Joey. Put Joey back on.
Legislatures and attacking.
Oh no, I got rid of it now.
I can't imagine.
Oh, the joke happened. The joke happened. I can't be bothered.
Okay.
And that's outside the realm of possibility.
Yeah, but you don't. This will expand to people like Ted Wheeler saying we don't recognize the authority of Donald Trump. You know, the very left-wing mayor of Portland.
I don't.
Yeah, but that's not literal, is it? In the sense that if the federal government decide a thing, he couldn't just not do anything and then that would be fine. Like, what has Ted Wheeler consequentially actually done that has undermined the power of the US presidency?
I honestly don't even know who the fuck Ted Wheeler is until he said who he was.
Oh, okay, yeah. But he's the mayor of Portland. The very, very left wing. No, he's just like a
and if a mayor of Portland said that, he fucking said a thing. Doesn't change. Like, Trump doesn't have any power after the 20th of January at noon.
Yeah.
So there's nothing to recognize.
Yeah. And you're literally saying it's fine if Republicans don't accept the legitimacy of the next president and do a civil war.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think he did already, did he? I mean, that's why he was letting terrorism go on in the state.
He was letting terrorism go on in the state. Firstly, Joey, you daft bastard, he's the mayor of a city, so what goes on in the rest of the state is literally none of his jurisdiction. You'll find cities, actually, in terms of geography, aren't actually that big compared to the states in America, by and large, certainly when you get out west. So it's a geographically almost insignificant portion of Washington state is Seattle. So there's nothing he could do there. And in terms of the city itself, he's not allowing terrorism to go on. He was allowing BLM to do protests that you didn't like. And right-wingers turned up and drove through them. Literally drove through them. But that's not terrorism, because right-wingers don't do terrorism.
Oh, except all the time.
Yeah.
He may well have. I don't think he's repudiated Trump's authority. But he's been very...
Well, even though you literally said he did. You literally said he did, Carl. And now you're saying...
he was going to, I thought.
No, he said, I don't accept the legitimacy of Donald Trump's presidency. And now you're saying he didn't repudiate it. Well, what do you think the word repudiate means, Carl?
That's what it means
about the thing, and said that, look, I don't need your help and all this sort of thing. But I think that it would. I think there are some Democrats who are loopy enough to come out and formally object and say we're not going to take Trump's authority from the federal government. And then you're in a sense
AOC is going to say that.
Yeah, I mean these areas already have enough breakaway locations, such as the the Red House Autonomous Zone. The newest one that was reported on LotusEaters.com by Josh, which is another left-wing commune that tries to declare itself not part of the United States, like the George Floyd Autonomous Zone or the Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone. And
pause it.
It's just a feature.
Okay, they're not taking power away from Trump. His power expires.
Yeah.
There's a transfer of power. It goes away. He's no longer legitimately the president, so he doesn't have anything taken away. He doesn't have to concede anything.
Well,
it's not his.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, I mean, would you have been okay if Barack Obama was like, "No, you're not taking power away from me"?
Yeah.
I know Trump's been like elected and shit, but no, I'm still president and that. No, I think you'd have been quite annoyed at that, wouldn't you? And to be honest, I mean, as much as I dislike Trump,
image, by the way.
I would have exactly. Thank you. I would have been too, because that's not how democracy is supposed to work. I despise Trump, but for the system that currently was in place, he was elected, right? That's how that goes.
Yeah, that's why everyone was shit scared, because they recognize the legitimacy of the process.
Yeah, like Hillary Clinton. I didn't even realise this. Look, she publicly announced the next day she was conceding, but did you know she rang him at like 2:30 in the morning to concede in person? I'd say that's pretty statesman-like, or statesperson-like, whatever. Whereas Trump, we're over a month afterwards, you fucking idiots, and he's still like, nah, didn't lose. Cope.
Oh, by the way, read from the Skeptical Terrier in the chat. It's just the 3 above.
Oh my God, I just read someone filed an amici on behalf of New California and New Nevada. Well, you clearly were late for the show. Because we already fucking did
on
that.
behalf of. Oh, on behalf of. I thought like they were doing it for the states. Like they thought the states should exist. But yeah, we did cover that earlier.
Yeah, we covered that earlier. Yeah. So, someone hasn't been following completely, have they? TST.
Called out by the teacher. I'm sorry, Daddy Captain.
It's okay, I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed.
Of left-wing politics.
All right, so yes,
and I think that the people like Ted Wheeler who tried to join in with these protests in all of the left-wing movements will find themselves in a position where their own activists won't allow them to continue, and so they have to essentially come to the decision that this is it, and they may well themselves genuinely
what the fuck is he talking about? He is like on a hypothetical on top of hypothetical.
I genuinely don't know what he means. This is nonsense.
I can't believe people pay for this.
Yeah.
Because of the media diet that they have. I mean, politicians and all the media pundits and all this sort of thing, they're not immune to the same sort of social media bubble effects that affect the rest of us, which is why I so consistently say, watch from both sides. You have to watch from both sides. An equal amount.
You don't watch from both sides, Carl.
From the Heritage Foundation.
Yeah, from the Heritage Foundation on the right to Breitbart on the left. Yeah.
And who is the Falun Gong?
Epoch Times. Fucking hell. You really have got such a wide spread of far-right garbage, Carl. Well done. He takes in news sources that go from neo-Nazi to neo-fascist, so please.
Right. He goes across the spectrum of the far right.
Yeah.
Amount. Because otherwise
he could just stick with the Daily Stormer, but he likes to have a bit more breadth to his fascism. You know what I mean?
He likes to mix it up a bit.
Turn into a one-sided partisan, and so it is imperative that you watch people that you don't enjoy. At least people that you find to be credible and informed. Sorry about the siren.
They're next to the police station.
Sorry, what?
Last time we were out, they hired like cheap office space next to the police station, so the sirens could go,
right.
and they're still not putting up fucking
soundproofing. I was wondering, I couldn't hear what you were saying through your laughter.
Oh, sorry, yeah, no, I was, oh yeah. It's
or
just
maybe it was
brilliant.
The sirens.
It's exactly the sirens. They're so loud, the sirens of Swindon, you can't even hear me here.
Yeah, I know. Why is it every time about 1 o'clock in the afternoon that there are people out
someone commits
crimes?
a crime?
Yeah,
because it's a busy part of the day. People are awake.
Yeah. Traffic.
I bet if you did this later in the evening, Carl, it'd probably be fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But your wife wants you out of the fucking house between 8 and 10. That's it.
Poor boy
Get
comes.
the fuck out. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. To clean the pipes. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. In Minecraft.
Yeah, it's definitely.
They game together.
Definitely his kid. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh.
Absolutely. It is. I'm saying it is. I don't know what are you talking about. It's definitely his kid. Absolutely.
I'm not stepping away from that one.
I mean, he doesn't look like him, but it doesn't matter. That's not how genetics works.
Hit play.
And someone gets into an accident. But anyway, so I think that they will have a strength of belief they feel is justified, but also I think they're aware that there is a kind of underlying tension about the corruption that has been going on in the Democratic Party that is now just all public, by the way. That they realise that
Who are these people?
I genuinely don't know what he's talking about.
They're realizing. Who are these people realizing? things. Who are these people?
Falun Gong.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Oh,
It is going
wow.
to be all or nothing. And I mean, hopefully my prediction is wrong, right? I'm hoping that this prediction is just deeply flawed, and there were a bunch of other factors I hadn't
Oh, it is.
included in my analysis.
I mean, even then, your best case scenario would still be an
What
escalation
analysis?
of anti-terrorism.
Yeah, best case scenario. Yeah, exactly. Even if there aren't mayors and governors across the country who reject Donald Trump enough to essentially secede from the United States, again, history repeats
What?
itself.
The fuck is he talking?
I think he's saying, I think in his head, they've thought to themselves, the Supreme Court will definitely side with us.
Maybe. Is that
Decide
what's happening?
somehow, under literally, they don't have the power to do this, to say Donald Trump won and he's now the president again.
Yeah. And then the Democrats
Yeah.
are all going to freak out, but they're also going to know about their own corruption.
Yeah.
But then they're also going to...
But look how happy, hang on, well, I'll have to remove the picture for a second. Look how smuggy, look how happy he is with that.
the idea of
Yeah.
the Democrats going through this.
But he thinks he's so fucking smart with it. Look at that.
Oh
I'm
my
so
God, he's
clever.
delusional.
Look, suck my dick. Jesus.
Even
Picture
if there
back,
aren't enough for them to start doing that, yeah, as you say, the activists are going to be setting the world on fire. All of these democratic cities are going to get burned down again.
What do you mean burnt down again? They weren't burnt down.
They weren't burned down the first. What is he? Democratic cities, what, like New York?
Yeah.
Chicago didn't burn. That was, the Chicago fire was back in the 19th century,
Yeah, hang on. So,
yeah, if you...
so hang on. So that all happened, right? Hang on.
Yes.
We'll go back. Hang on. No, we don't cut.
Yeah,
We want
you move
pick.
the picture.
There we go. Apologies, everyone. Right. So that's Carl talking shit about the Texas law case. Now, I wasn't planning on necessarily covering anything to do with Carl tonight, but he decided to draw first blood, so to speak. He shot first, which is not surprising. With LotusEaters.com, decided to get in touch with
Floater Eaters.
FloaterEaters.com, got in touch with 3 people, specifically 3 people. Kristi being one, I being the other, and the third, I'm going to let you guess. Now, if you already know, obviously, if you already know because you follow the Twitter, link below, as indeed are all my other links, including streamlabs.com/KFLogan1875, where you can give me money. Anyway, if you already follow, don't guess. But there's a third person who Carl decided to tag in to that tweet about an article on floatereaters.com. And I wonder if anyone in the chat can guess who this other person was. It's so strange that these 3 people were put together. Me and Kristi make
Agreed.
sense, to be fair. Me and Kristi make sense. But, yeah. George Soros, unfortunately not. It would have been amazing if he tagged in George. Is George Soros on Twitter? Let's have a look.
I don't know.
George Soros. He is. George Soros is on
wow.
Twitter. Okay, cool. Hang on. Where am I? No, we don't.
Oh, yeah, I have to show people.
We can get rid of that now. Let's put it over George Soros. No, I'm only joking. So that's George Soros is on Twitter. There he is. What's he up to? Hungary and Poland are brazenly threatening EU's foundational values. That's true. I applaud planting growing up in Hungary. So presumably that's him there. Yeah. Okay. So
Oh, by the way, can I take a 2-minute break?
what the
while
fuck?
you're doing
What
this?
is this cursed image here? Yeah. No, go for it. Yeah.
All right, be right back.
Yeah. What is this nonsense? The Reich dictatorship? What? That's awful. For decades, my foundation has invested in dismantling systemic racism. Okay. Well, obviously, this isn't him doing this. This is like an intern or whatever. And it's yeah, load of shit. Anyway, so George Soros did the thing. Did we guess Hugo Chavez? No, it's not Hugo Chavez. I hate people who can spell. What? Anyway, I'll just... shall I wait for Kristi? I'll wait for Kristi to go back. Oh, someone did guess right. We've had guesses that include Dick Coffin... Dick Coughlin, Peter Coffin, Shoe on Head, Hugo Chavez, Boris Johnson. That would be amazing. That's amazing. No, it was none of those people. And no, actually, no, it was one of those people. What am I talking about? Yes. So we'll go into it. We'll go into it. Anyway, basically, it's on the screen, so I might as well tell you. It was Shoe on Head. I don't know why that was a thing, but he decided to tag in Shoe as well, which is really weird. Bill Gates. No, again, I've already said it's Joe, so stop. Okay, stop. It's Shoe on Head, who Carl has a weird obsession with. A really, really weird obsession with. He's made several videos about how she's like turning into a communist and all this sort of stuff. He's one of the most pathetic simps for Shoe. He's embarrassing. He's a genuinely embarrassing person. He wants her eggs so bad. Yes, he does. Yeah. So we're going to take a look. I haven't seen this article yet. I might as well bring it up. Let's have a look. Now, apparently Carl wrote this article, but I have no idea if that's true. It's possible he didn't. And has just put his name to it. And I'm going to guess, based on the title, that it's transphobic as shit. Anyway, so yeah, it was Shoe on Head, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
He's really weird. He's really weird about Shoe, isn't he?
It's fixated. Yeah.
It's pretty. To be honest, Carl, you're a creepy old man. Please stop. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we've done stuff on our show, so come at us. Whatever, that's fine. But I don't know, unless Shoe commented and gave you shit, which would have been funny. But I don't know why you're dragging her into this. Sorry, I'm putting on the slippers. Because
he's a really really pathetic human being. Anyway, so this is the article, right, that he sent to us. And Shoe, for some reason. Look, we will only speak in our own human capacities as Kristi Winters and Kevin Logan. We can't speak for Shoe on Head.
No, we don't.
She'll have to. Well, presumably she won't reply to this because she's probably got him blocked and or muted. So.
Yeah. Whereas it was perfect because we were talking about content for the show tonight. So.
Yeah. So fuck it.
Okay, you want us to look at this? Okay, we'll look at it.
Oh gosh, I'm yawning now. God, I'm dying.
So we talked about the fact that Carl, you're sending me a piece of writing. I'm going to mark it. So I'm going to evaluate it as I would, as I said, an undergraduate essay.
Yeah.
And I don't expect him to do all kinds of proper referencing, but if he's going to quote directly, then I would expect him to do that. It doesn't have to be like Oxford University or Oxford Dictionary 2020, with a citation link or something like that.
Yeah. The article is called Woman, quotation marks, so Woman, the case against the intersectional definition.
Right. I mean, before we even start, let's take a look at the title.
Yeah.
Right? Because there are some assumptions in the title itself. The idea that there is an intersectional definition.
Yeah.
Right. And that it's, just singular and everybody uses it. And he is going to make a case against that one definition. So I would expect there to be sort of like, well, these people say this and these people say that. And here's what I think about that. And here's what I think about this. So that's the kind of work I'd be expecting.
Okay. So I'm not entirely sure he has written this. I wouldn't be surprised if one of his Joeys, one of his many babies, has and they're definitely his, wrote this, and he's just put his name to it. But whatever. We start with one of the great pieces of writing in our age. The standard English definition of quote woman end quote is often critiqued by intersectional feminists for being too narrow to fully encompass what they believe the term to mean.
All right, well, let's just start there. Okay. First of all, what standard English definition? Like, in this case, you would actually have to like say, are you looking at a dictionary? Are you looking at an encyclopedia? Are you looking at a sociology book? What do you mean? There isn't a standard English definition, so you're going to have to give me specific wording so I know that you're not just making this up. Also, often critiqued by intersectional feminists, such as whom? And what have they said? Can you quote them and their arguments as to how it's too narrow? How does it not fully encompass what they believe the term to mean? And can you quote them explaining what it means? All of these things have to be demonstrated, and none of them are.
No.
Okay.
Intersectionalists will derisively point out a distinction between our biological sex, drawn from our physical features, and the social role, woman, is merely a pattern of behaviours and forms of self-expression we use to interact, and so any person performing these behaviours and expressions can therefore also be considered a woman.
Talk about a run-on.
Oh, be considered women. Apologies.
Yes. So one massive run-on sentence. So maybe Carl did write this.
Yeah, it's beginning to look that way.
All right. And again, if you're going to say they're derisively pointing out, how are you characterizing this? I mean, if they made a statement, how do you know they were being derisive? Can you demonstrate that? Can you show me a video clip? It's just, again, it's characterization of something. And also, can you quote someone with this rather than asserting what they think? It's a series of straw people, straw men, straw feminists so far.
Yeah, it's a straw village. Yes.
Yep.
This is amazing. Kristi showed me this sentence before we even started, and it's just nonsense. This materialistic view ignores the realization of, quote, woman and, quote, womanhood, and attempts to deny it of any essential qualities outside of its social construction. However, outside of its traditional definition, the intersectionalist is generally troubled to provide a workable definition of their own. Which is interesting because you didn't provide a definition.
No, of what you meant, or even what you mean by intersectionalist or intersectionalism.
Yeah, you haven't provided any definitions for any of the things you've said.
No.
Okay.
So with materialistic, as I said to Kevin, before we came on the air, I don't think he means wanting money. I think he means materialism.
Yeah, so it would be this materialist view.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ignores the realization of woman and womanhood. I don't even know what that means, the realization of.
Yeah, he's trying to sound impressive. This is
not
fart
like
huffery.
I mean, I've struggled occasionally, only maybe once, to read Derrida and understand it. But at least there's actually a framework. Here, he's not providing any framework for what any of these words mean.
Yeah.
And then attempts to deny it of any essential qualities outside of its social construction, because things don't have essential qualities if they're socially constructed. They're constructed.
Yeah, exactly. As I pointed out before, this is like it's almost tautological. They're saying it is a thing because it's a thing. Yeah, a materialist who doesn't think that things have those that social constructions have essential qualities because they're social constructions, and therefore we give them whatever meaning it has. Obviously, don't believe that, because why would they believe that? They're materialists. It's like saying a Muslim believes in Allah. Yeah. Obviously, that's what the definition basically is.
Also, I mean, there's people who understand the power that social forces and reality and facts have on people's lives. Don't deny material reality. Yeah. They just understand sort of the basis of what they call sort of materially real, and then things that have are a collection of things that they don't have an essence, which are socially constructed things.
Yeah. Well, as someone points out in the chat, Carl's definition basically boils down to genitalia.
Yeah, that's shortcut.
The only thing he knows is pussy, lady, cock, man. That's it. That's the only thing he understands.
This is more about an argument, I think, about language, but that's really giving him a lot of credit. But so anyway, yes, outside of its traditional definitions, again, I don't even know what those traditional definitions are. The intersectionalist, singular, is not generally troubled to provide a workable definition of their own. Well, let's see some of their definitions.
Yeah.
And the critiques around them.
Also, I don't care about traditional definitions of anything, Carl. That's not how language works.
Definitions? Yes.
Like, I presume if someone were to call you gay, you couldn't think they were saying
definitions.
You couldn't think that they were calling you a homosexual because it just means light-hearted. Because that's the traditional meaning of the word gay. So when they use it, clearly they mean you're just light-hearted and free-spirited. Because that's what that word means. Like, have a gay old time.
Yes,
the Flintstones.
traditional.
Yeah, traditional. Let's not have any of this newfangled word meanings. And things. No.
Meanings.
No. Forsooth.
Yes.
Anyway, I'm being silly. But that's the basic point. So, are we done?
Yeah. I'm just waiting for the next bit because I'm waiting for your reaction.
It has been my experience that when challenged, the intersectionalist will give some formulation of the following. Quote, woman is defined as someone who identifies as a woman, unquote.
Okay, now stop. Now go to his source for this quote.
Oh yeah, there's a link.
No, first think. Who do you think he would be quoting?
Okay, so presumably it would have to be an intersectionalist. Otherwise, this would be incredibly dishonest.
One would think.
So,
I
therefore,
neither confirm nor
assuming
deny.
it isn't, because this is Carl. So I'm going to say Yasser Arafat.
You might have actually been closer than Carl gets. All right, go ahead.
Cora? What, the thing where people just type random nonsense?
Yeah, there were two answers given to this question.
This is surprisingly complicated. What identifies as a woman?
That's it. That's his source. That's his intersectionalists, but in the singular.
Okay, but what makes these people intersectionalists? Does he know Anna Atondo or Michelle Martin Corson?
All I know is that they're like active in Spain. That's what you get when you click on it. It's not like a doxing thing, you know. It's just they have a description.
Okay, well that's okay. Apologies.
That's it.
Yeah,
that's Quora. Quora's fucking source.
Right.
That doesn't count.
Okay.
That doesn't. That's
Let's
not
see
how
if we
any
can
of this
find
works.
just okay. Right. Sectional definition of, say, gender or something, or woman.
Mm-hmm.
UN Women Intersectional Feminism. What does feminism actually mean? Intersectionality. Dictionary. Intersectionality. Maybe that'll have something on it. 3 aspects. Key. Praxis. Criticism. No, I don't think that's nonsense.
We're looking for.
Yeah.
Oh yes, a definition of woman.
Yeah, definition of woman. So, feminist. No,
no, I don't think they have a dictionary. I think that's the problem. I think there isn't a singular dictionary for all intersectional feminists. So probably the definition isn't like
intersectional feminism 101. See if we can find at least something. Desi style. So this is an Indian one. Okay. Intersectional theory, unspoken privilege, dominance. No, okay. Well, okay, so you'd have to look a little bit further. I was hoping to just find a quick one and be like, you could have done a 5-minute Google search. But apparently you do have to look slightly further than that, into like an actual intersectionalist who wrote a thing. Okay. Which is beyond Carl, clearly. And technically it's beyond me in the sense that I'm not doing it live on air. Like, I mean, yeah.
Yes, you do research before you would come on air with something like that.
Yeah, if I was to say this is what intersectionalists think,
or write something,
I'd at least get an intersectionalist quote, not just a random Quora person. Like, how long was... Did he just type into Quora woman or something? Well, how did you come up with that really obviously obscure as fuck Quora page? It's so
it's really digging
it's
deep.
Embarrassing.
Well, that's what this research team does. That's what they pay for at Lotus Eaters. Is that crack research team to help write their articles?
They're premium, so the things you have to pay for. Hang on, some of these are amazing, right? So this is what people are paying for: the Gandalf test, US versus China. UN concessions on cannabis are a far cry from real change. The riddle of Mr. Elliot Page. Oh God. Fully automated luxury serfdom. Oh my God. I just fucking kill, man.
That's not premium though. That's not premium. That might be free.
Is it? Oh, sorry. Yeah, that's on the other side.
It has a little stick.
Apologies. Yeah. My bad. The BBC's being dishonest about cheap, low-carbon revolution.
That's premium content.
That's premium content, people.
That's what people are paying for?
For only $6 million a month, or whatever it costs. I don't know. Anyway, okay, so Carl's full of shit. Right, cool. This definition has only one requirement and no apparent limit to its scope. It seems tailor-made to allow any thinking creature to be able to adopt the role of, quote, woman, if it were to so choose. Any thinking creature? What's it, like a dog? What?
I don't know. I think he means Homo sapiens here.
Well, yeah, but it says thinking creature.
Thinking
so, I mean,
creature.
Yeah,
that is
especially when you
ridiculous.
followed from the sentence, no apparent limit to its scope. So he's clearly setting up that concept, isn't he? So are you suggesting, Carl, that a hamster under intersectionality could be a woman? A human woman?
That seems to be the straw feminist he's building, yes.
Wow, this is big-brained stuff right here. Get Dave Rubin on the case. This is a high-level idea that only he can deal with, I think.
So many high-level ideas.
Exactly. Well, yeah. I mean, that's why he's aged so badly, because he's just thinking too much.
Yes.
As we were told from the 2020 UN Women's Summit on International Women's Day, women are limitless and formless. I don't think they meant that literally. They're not like a gas.
Yeah, they're talking about any kind, any shape, any size, anything.
Yeah, they mean like...
It's not like there's one typical form.
There's tall and short and fat and thin
gaseous.
and white and black. Not that there's some sort of semi-Newtonic fluid or whatever the fuck they're called.
Yes.
Yeah, they're not. That's not what they mean by formless. It's not like an ethereal thing. They're not like non-corporeal. They're not a ghost.
Yes.
Because as we know,
just look at the entire quote.
Sorry, as we know, it's only men that can be ghosts. Hence Hugo Chavez and Fidel Castro.
Yes.
Women can't be ghosts.
Correct.
It's not allowed in the Bible. You have to read between the lines, but it's there. It's definitely there. Anyway, male privilege. So.
Yes. The quote itself says, trans women are women at the end of the day. Every woman is a woman. Women are multifaceted, intergenerational, international. They are limitless, formless. Women are the world. She's speaking poetically, so...
That's from a person called Aaron
without
Phillip,
limits.
who's a model and disability rights activist. So again, that's not even the UN saying that, really. They're just quoting someone who spoke at a thing at the UN.
So you're lying within your own article.
And again, there's nothing to suggest there that person is actually intersectional. I mean, that's certainly congruent with an intersectionalist approach, but it doesn't mean they are an intersectionalist. And you haven't shown that they are.
Yeah, and he's leaving out some important context. Yeah, and we were told from the 2020 Women's Summit by a model and disabilities rights activist that kind of also says that, in terms of what people think of in terms of ableism in bodies. But of course, that's a little too subtle. And
as we were told from the UN 2020 Summit on International Women's Day, which makes it suggest that it was like an official UN statement.
Mm-hmm.
Like the end of that, they came to, after hard talking about the matter, they came to the conclusion, and now the UN are going to enforce this definition on every single... No, a person spoke at a UN women's meeting, or get together, bash, which is oftentimes with the UN a PR exercise. They don't do anything with it. They're still going to have fucking UN peacekeepers raping people in the Congo and doing fuck all about it. Let's not pretend they're a feminist organisation. They most assuredly are not. Okay? A person spoke at a PR event in the New York building, because they have to do something with that building for the rest of the year, and they said a thing. Fucking do, Carl. I don't care.
But that is all the intersectionalists.
Yeah.
That one tweet.
Yeah, exactly.
Tweet.
Yeah. Presumably, this is the person as well. Because they say disability rights activists. That person is visibly disabled. That would make sense. But I mean,
and she's not providing a definition. She's giving a speech.
She's giving a speech. Yeah, and an eloquent speech by the sounds of things.
Yeah,
nice. But that's it. I don't really care. It's not relevant to anything.
It wasn't. It wasn't a directive from the UN.
No. The one world global Sorosian government, praise be upon him, will not be enacting this necessarily. So.
Incoming transphobia. By the way.
Naturally. I mean, he's been setting this up for that, so makes sense. It seems, from a tactical perspective, that this very broad definition has been adopted by intersectionalists in order to... What fucking definition, Carl? What definition?
Yeah, he hasn't given one.
You're
One
asking
from
me
Quora?
to go back to a definition that you haven't given. Okay. It seems from a tactical perspective that this very broad definition, which I haven't given, has been adopted by intersectionalists in order to facilitate the further acceptance of male to female transgender people. Female! So that they will be better accepted by society in order to protect their physical and mental health. What?
In order to facilitate for further acceptance. I mean, insofar as it's not a tactical thing, it's a moral thing.
Well, it's an accuracy thing as well, yeah. Like, it's, if the person's female, they're female. Okay.
Yeah.
Also,
and
again, they give up the fundamental transphobic position, because you'll notice they almost always attack trans women and not trans men.
Yes. Oh.
Because it makes sense that a person would want to be a man, right? It's what's up with these men wanting to be women? All that bollocks, right? If this were true, this definition, whatever this fucking nebulous, gaseous fucking definition you seem to think exists, it would also facilitate the further acceptance of female to male transgender people, Carl. But you don't mention that because you don't care. Because that's not the point, is it? It's all about male hierarchy and all that shit. It's really sick. You're a sick person. Like Tulsi Gabbard.
Yes. Yeah. Trash.
Indeed.
Trash.
Nobody wishes to live in a society rife with persecution and abuse. Citation needed, Carl. So this is a perfectly noble goal to pursue. However, and again, why is that still the part of the same sentence? You could put full stop, however, comma, these... he's such a hack writer. However, these
long sentences.
Yeah. However,
Long
you've got the reader has to breathe, Carl. However, these non-intersectionalists who view these things with a critical eye should be aware of certain problems with this definition that leave open doors to concepts and behaviours that are otherwise unacceptable. Okay, is he going on about men raping women in toilets now? Is that where we're going?
Well, with Carl, again, who knows? He's probably, I mean, I haven't read this whole thing, so...
Oh, okay. Sorry, again. I thought you had. Apologies.
No, I read the first part of it, but then I stopped because I wanted to just kind of do it fresh.
Yeah.
And I should be more critical, but I guess we are ripping it apart. Not from an academic point of view, just the content.
Yeah, it's because there's no point. Like, having like an academic dissection of this is like, I don't know, getting one of the great portrait painters to do a fucking postage stamp for you. Like, what's the point? It's shit. Anyway. Well, I've forgotten where I was. Here we go. Where the intersectionalist criticises the standard definition of woman for being and he didn't put it in quotations this time.
No, so, he didn't even provide a standard definition, or I thought it was a traditional definition. What kind of definition is it?
It's the standard traditional one. Yeah. it basically means pussy, woman, cock, man. That's what it means. The definition of woman for being too exclusive. We must object to the intersectional to the intersectional for failing to be exclusive enough. We must object to the intersectional for failing.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Of course.
So not to the intersectionalist or the intersectionalism.
No. Or the idea.
Yeah, the intersectional. The concept of the concept. Okay, for failing to be exclusive enough. Why?
On what metric? By whose standards? What are you talking about?
Yeah, you haven't given a definition. So again, there's no point trying to take it apart because he hasn't given us a definition to work from. Partly because he wants to be able to pivot where it suits him, you know?
Oh, always. Yeah. Well, I'll just let you read. It's okay.
It clearly is not sufficient to simply object to the intersectional definition of woman, whatever that is. Yeah. By virtue,
he didn't provide.
Yeah, intersectional definition of woman by virtue of it actually failing to define anything in a meaningful way, especially when it doesn't. When you don't give one, then it literally doesn't define anything in any way.
Yeah, when you pick the definition to be meaningless, then you can say that one. But it wasn't even a definition; it was just a Quora response.
Yeah, a Quora response and then a quote from a speech at the UN. Amazing. In fact, the intersectional definition is self-referential, so the sentence becomes an infinitely recurring loop which never resolves. No, it means that gender isn't a thing that's like entirely testable because it's a social construct. It's not like something that's found like a fucking element or something.
It's constantly changing.
You know, it basically happens
culture.
in your fucking head.
Yes.
That's the point that's being made here. It's not a thing that just... It's like you're born with a cock. That's a boy, and that never changes. That can't be a thing. No, it happens in the person's fucking brain.
Mm-hmm.
In their soul, if that's a thing you want to think about. Whatever personage you give to a human being, it's that. It's inside themselves. They then outwardly express it via, like, makeup or dresses or vice versa, by looking more masculine or whatever they want to fucking do, because ultimately it's not your business, Carl, you fucking nosy prick. But it's inside someone's head.
Also, I think what he wants to... Yeah. I just realized that what he is trying to describe here is a tautology, but he doesn't know the word.
No, of course he fucking doesn't. Let's go like 3 syllables. What are you talking about?
I mean, it becomes an infinitely recurring loop. It's self-referential. Yeah, so you're saying it's a tautology, but it's actually not. Because one, you haven't given a definition. Oh, that's the starting point. You haven't actually given a definition.
Yeah.
From an actual, peer-reviewed, published source.
Yeah, I like soul as good parlance as well, because I don't literally believe a soul in like the religious sense exists, but it's the individual, the person that is more. It transcends literally the physical matter that you are into the individual human being that you are. Whatever that thing is, the consciousness or whatever. Just call it a soul. I think people generally tend to understand that. Does that make sense?
It's a term I find rather ineffable because different words.
I don't care if you want to F it. Jesus.
Because different words capture different elements of it, but there's not a good word that captures it as a unique experience. So I think. Yeah,
I know, but it's common parlance, isn't it?
No, I mean it communicates a general concept. Yeah.
But I don't literally believe a soul exists.
Yeah, you're a recovering Catholic, just like me.
I'd like to think of myself as a very, 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 very lapsed Catholic. Yeah.
Well, get ready for some amazing Carl logic coming up your way here, Carl. Okay. Or Kevin, sorry.
Hang on, where did we get to? Oh, never resolves.
Yeah.
Quote, a woman is anyone who identifies as a woman, unquote, can also be written as, quote, a woman is anyone who identifies as anyone who identifies as anyone who identifies as, unquote, and so on. No?
I don't even know what that means.
What does that mean?
If I just said that sentence, it's actually a meaningless sentence.
Well, I mean, yeah.
I don't know
if you want to sound like a broken record, you can. Literally.
Yeah.
That is strictly speaking completely true, in the sense that you could just keep repeating is anyone who identifies is anyone who identifies for 1,000,000 times and then say as a woman. But the 999,999 repeating anyone who identifies as are superfluous. You've just added a string of unnecessary things, but it doesn't literally change the end and beginning definitions. So literally speaking, that is true. But that's true for like virtually everything then. Because you could say, you could do the same for you. Carl is a man who identifies as a man. So you could say, Carl is someone who identifies as a man. That's still technically true. But obviously ludicrous. So I wouldn't do that literally. Carl has literally done that. Yeah.
He thinks he's proven something.
He has. He's proven he's a fucking moron. He's proven that conclusively beyond any reasonable doubt. Yes, he has. I don't think that's what he intended to do, but he has definitely achieved that feat.
Continue, please. It's so entertaining.
Not only have we failed to construct a logically or semantically coherent sentence, well done, Carl, yeah. But we have also emptied the word woman
So close.
of meaning. Yeah, he's so close and yet so far from realization, from a moment of Damascene clarity. Yes. But we also have emptied the word woman of any meaning at all. Have we?
No.
Who's done that?
No one's done
You've
that.
literally, I mean, even under your frankly ludicrous Cora definition, that still has meaning. It's the person who identifies as the thing.
Yeah, it's very, very rare that like a complex definition for something like that for a social construct would just be one sentence in an actual dictionary.
Yeah.
You know, there would be
And certainly
because
not
genders.
Certainly not in an
culture-
academic setting. Nowhere near.
Oh gosh, no. But even in like an encyclopedia sort of wiki entry, because gender, how it's expressed, is very different across the world. It's been different across time. It's different across cultures, and so you can't say there's an essence to it because of all of the different manifestations. There would be much more homogeneity across our observations.
Yeah, indeed. We would be forced to fall back on the presupposed traditional. Well, thank for saying it was presupposed. Traditional definition of woman in order to draw from biological and sociological signifiers that inform our distinction between men and women. Yeah, you'd be forced to do it. It's not that that's literally the only outcome you would possibly accept. No, you're forced to do it because blah 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 SJWs or something. Like
Forced to do it in order to draw from the biological and sociological signifiers that inform our distinction between men and women. You mean the social construction of gender?
Yeah. This is fucking cancer. This is just pure, unmitigated cancer.
I don't even. What case is he? Okay.
Well, the entire case he's making is pussy woman cockman. That's I've just come up with a 4-word distillation of Cole's view on gender.
Why? Yeah, I mean, he is totally turfy.
Yeah. Well, he's not F, is he? He's just tur. No, he's just tur.
True.
He's just tur. He's not radical. He's just a garbage bag.
Terse, shitlord.
Yeah.
He's a radical shitlord.
Or just transphobic scum. Whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Works. That works for me.
It's not. Yeah, you can't really. You can't shorten it down, but whatever. Why would we bother doing this, though? Yes, a fine question. If there is nothing otherwise meant by being a woman, why would anyone identify as one? But there isn't.
What?
What you
Now he's just going into his own fantasy world here again.
My fucking dick aches. What are you talking about?
Why would
Carl?
we? Who's the we in this? Why would we bother doing this? Who are we?
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, again, more fantasy.
Yeah. If there's nothing otherwise meant, but there is stuff otherwise meant. Social construction doesn't mean meaningless.
Yes, and that's another mistake he tends to make, that somehow it is devoid of any kind of meaning or context, when context is the thing that puts it together.
Yeah. In fact, it's only because it means something to humans that we've decided to define it at all.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise we wouldn't need to. Anyway.
This is a whole, like, if I can't use this word on a specific subset of humans, then I don't know what it means. I think this is what his argument
basically,
is.
Yeah. This is an argument from bewildering ignorance, is what this is.
Yeah.
What is the point of the term, and to who is it useful? It seems we may well have obliterated the term altogether. Again, who is we?
Yes.
Are you an intersectionalist under your own definition now? Which you still won't tell us what you think an intersectional is.
No.
But an intersectionalist is... or intersectionalism.
Or quote any of them by name, other than a UN tweet, which was just illustrative, not definitions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Worse still are certain implications that arise were we to completely abandon the traditional English definition of the word, which is usually a woman is an adult human female. Is that true?
So that is, one unsourced.
This is just the general
of an official. Yes, the official English.
Oh, hang on a minute. What have we got here? Thank you to How the fuck do you print? Or whatever. £10. Less Sargon, please, maybe. Yeah, well, like I say, we're not going to do him every time. We had the intro.
No. He was, yeah.
Yeah.
We had the intro.
And he was kind of thirsting, so we thought, okay, well.
Yeah.
You see someone dying of thirst in the desert, you don't walk past. Okay? That's just cruel. Oxford English Dictionary.
Also, we did highbrow stuff at the beginning. We did all that stuff about Texas, so you can always dip after that.
The Oxford English Dictionary has updated its definition of woman in its latest gender review after complaints it was sexist.
Because a woman could be a person's wife, girlfriend, or female lover. That's my woman.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So, woman, various different spellings and things. An adult female human being. That context may or may not specifically reference to sex or to adult age. But that's the female human being, a female part of the human race, the female sex. In pregnant use with the reference to irregular intercourse with women as a mode of address, with allusion to qualities conventionally attributed to the female sex as mutability. The essential qualities of a woman. Yeah.
Prone to tears.
Now, to be fair, some of these are really archaic because the OED literally has all the old ones as well. In contrast, explicit or implicit with lady. Okay, we're talking really old shit there. 16th century was a play on pseudo-etymological associations with woe. Okay. Proverbs, a female servant, a lady love or mistress, a kept mistress or paramour. Okay. A wife. Yeah, we're talking some fucking crazy shit now. Having the character of a woman, feminine, womanly, effeminate.
Wait. Okay.
What?
So, yeah. No, it's all right.
So there are lots of other types as well.
Yes.
But
it's not been one consistent one back through the ages.
No. Objective, synonymous with corresponding combs with women. Okay. Anyway, so weird shit. But yeah, the first one was like adult woman, female person. But okay.
Yes.
But yeah, I don't really care. Still, like, I just wanted to check, was that a thing? Why didn't he source it? Because we just found that very easily. Well, that was
interesting because, yeah, and it's, the word woman has meant a lot of things. Again, like in Germany, you don't say my wife. Well, you have it sort of, but mostly people will say my man or my woman. That's kind of like a common understanding of a definition that isn't an adult female, it's a spouse of that person.
Well, someone puts, I'm definitely a wee man. Yeah, good. Kristi, who may now be seeing tweets I've liked. What? I don't know. Anyway. So yeah, whatever. We do not run into the same semantical issues with such a definition. The intersectionalist...
Well, the problem with his semantics and the problem is that his sentence was not logical. So actually, you created problems and then you defeated yourself, and now you're saying, oh, but here's, no, the problem is you.
Yeah, you create... Technically he's correct. You don't run into the same semantical issues, you run into a completely new set that you've created. Yeah, that is true. With such a definition. The intersectionalist... citation needed on who or what this is, objects because this definition excludes people born as males from becoming considered as women. Again, note it's males who become women, not women who become males, or non-binary people, which is a concept that I think probably makes Carl's brain hurt.
Probably.
And is hence detrimental to the interests of transgender males who identify as... Hang on a minute, time out, Holmes Lies. If it's a transgender male, that was an AFAB person who transitioned to outwardly identifying as male. But you've said transgender male who identifies as women, which doesn't make sense.
Yeah. That's
literally a mutually exclusive set of things to be. Anyway, a state of affairs which they would term as, quote, transphobia, unquote, with no full stop / period at the end of that sentence. So that goes on forever.
Forever.
This is definitely a Carl. Definitely a Carl piece, isn't it? However, A traditionalist definition provides stability and usefulness that the intersectional definition cannot, primarily because it is bound by its biological foundations. So it is literally pussy also, woman, cock man.
Yeah, the problem, of course, is that science has moved beyond that. Yeah. So it's not traditional, it's outdated. Yeah. It's been replaced with new information.
Also, Carl, I don't care that anything creates stability. Just because you're made uncomfortable by new ideas and new word usage, suck it up, you fucking twat. I don't care.
Move forward. Yeah, we can't go backwards. We're moving forward.
Just because you want words to be easier. I'm sorry, society can't keep up with you just because you're the fucking slow kid, okay? It's not how it works.
Other people don't have to suffer because you have to change the way you think about a thing a little bit.
Yeah. You're just a reactionary old man, and were 10 years ago when you were still, like, you know, reasonably not old or whatever the phrase. Old is a reference point which is so strange. Look, it's this strange thing, isn't it? Old as a concept, because what is old? I've heard when I was 26, 27, I was like, oh shit, I'm getting old, man. Like, that's obviously not old. So anyway, whatever. Before you
just like reasonably not old.
Reasonably not old. Language is my flower.
That's my new age category.
Reasonably not old. But you don't want to slip into unreasonably not old. That's crazy territory.
Yeah.
Oh god, evolutionary psychologists, hacks, just read hacks, may tell us that gender roles are social constructs that have emerged from our need to negotiate relationships with one another in order to fulfill our desire to have children. Yeah, they may tell you that because they're idiots. They're
and
hacks,
also, that's not the only thing gender is.
No.
I don't even know, like, okay, gender roles, there are gendered roles in relationships, but there aren't given gender roles. We made them up.
Yeah.
Right? And so, yes, when people had to spend most of their time hunting for food and planning for winter, things were very basic, but that's not how we live, a lot of us, anymore. And as a consequence, we don't have to bind ourselves to what we did when we were, before history, right? Able to write things down. We don't have to. We're freed from that.
Erin says, I'm 60, you young bastard, Kevin. Well, that's reasonably not on old. So, just saying. It's fine. You're grand. Anyway, what was I going to say? I've totally forgotten. I had a good point. Doesn't matter. Anyway, but yeah, I don't. Okay. People aren't born being. Oh, that was it. You talked about early kind of hunter-gatherer societies. Most of the nutritional sustenance of those societies, it would appear, came from foraged berries. Hunting animals with very, very primitive weapons and stuff, and very primitive tactics. It's very difficult. You don't find and kill many of them. So you end up having to eat berries most of the time, which were picked by women and children. So, yeah.
But probably not just women and children. I mean, if it was too rainy to go out and hunt, those berries still need to get picked. Yeah. So we don't know how much there was a clear division. I think we tend to impute one because we've seen it reflected back to us in the sexism of our day.
Have you not seen the Flintstones, Kristi?
Exactly, right. But if you've got a day to kill and it's just raining, what, only the women and the kids are going to pick berries and the guys are just going to sit around? Hell no. They all need to eat, So.
Yeah. Indeed. They therefore have a distinct layer that contains within them a tie to our biological nature that cannot be distinguished neatly from it. Do they?
No, what does that even mean?
They have a distinct layer that contains within them a tie to our biological... What, so it's partly a social construct, but it's partly biological, I think he's saying?
It's partly essential. It's basically saying, like, women need to want to have babies, and men want to make babies, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, it's definitely his.
He wants to basically...
It's definitely his.
Rarefy sort of biological functions, but only reproductive biological functions. Yeah. Nothing else attains this sort of otherworldly determinant on our society. Just our reproductive organs. Isn't that interesting?
Kristi, are you going to react to me impugning his fatherhood?
Oh, no. Okay. Next time I missed it, sorry.
I said it's definitely his. It's definitely his.
All right.
The social construct fulfills a biological purpose because humans are social organisms. Therefore, the definition of woman requires a linkage to our essential biological selves in order to be coherent. I want that sentence to be coherent, Carl.
Yeah, no kidding. Like the social construct isn't a thing, or the gender roles. Sorry, you moved the text. The social construct fulfills a biological purpose because humans are social organisms. Therefore, the definition of woman requires linkage to our biological selves. No, it doesn't.
And if it's biological, then it wouldn't need to be a human social construct. It's biological. Like, Carl, you clearly don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
No.
Stop.
He really doesn't.
Stop.
He really doesn't. There's no essential biological selves. That just is not a thing that you can't point to my essential biological self. You can point to like an organ, but an organ is a collection of other parts. So you can't point to the organ because that's not the essential biological self, because that's a collection of tissue. It doesn't exist. It only exists in your mind because people put it there because it's a social construct. Yeah. And you can change it.
Indeed. Woman, quote unquote, defines a social role for a particular sex. Again, are we talking about sex or gender, motherfucker? Female and the requirements built into that definition revolve around the biological pressures females face.
He's the woman knower.
He's woman knower.
He's defining by their baby making. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's all you get. Everything about your life has to tie to that, or you're a failure, or you're a servant. Here in this case, because you're a servant to your biology.
Carl, woman isn't adult female human. It's ovary haver. That's it. Mm-hmm. A woman is an ovary haver.
That's pretty much that would what it comes down to.
The vaginally afflicted.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if you have your ovaries removed, then you can't call yourself a woman anymore, to Carl, because your biological functions, are your essence.
Yeah. And if you
whatever, it's just your capacity. Like, well, wait. If it's not about your real biology, it's about your capacity. Well, that doesn't have anything to do with your biology. It's just.
So if you can't, for whatever reason, give birth, or you're past menopause, or you get involved in some sort of car accident which takes you out of possibility of having children, or you have some sort of radiation poisoning, ditto, then you're not a woman anymore.
Well, you're not. Your life isn't revolving around the biological pressures, so you can't be a female if you're not facing those female pressures. Apparently, according to Carl.
Yeah, well, women exist entirely orbiting fallopian tubes.
Yes,
that's how that works.
We know that.
Carl is the woman knower. He's the woman knower.
He is.
That's fine. Biological pressure. The nature of the biological components of the traditional definition are important too. I thought you were talking about that. What do you mean too? Wasn't he literally just mentioning that, and now he's saying that as well? Yeah. That's like saying football, but also football.
It's very Mitchell and
Webb,
yeah.
Football.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, look at that over there. It's a football. Yeah. Okay, but it's mathematics, but also mathematics. Like he's repeating the same thing, but saying it's a different thing apparently. Though so far I have amazing punctuation. Though so far I have yet to encounter an intersectionalist who has attempted to argue that a non-human animal could be considered a woman if, quote, human, unquote, is removed from our definition of woman. It is inconceivable that, with no other definition of woman to be found, there will be people who wish to include non-humans. Who's removing human?
Get his fantasy.
Carl. Find me a single person who isn't in maybe an asylum or on drugs who wishes to remove human from any definition of human. Please do show me that. I'd love to see it because that would be amazing content for me to laugh at. That would be amazing.
Kevin, if it wasn't for straw man arguments, he wouldn't have any. This is ridiculous.
He's literally picked up in this definition. It contains 7 words, and he's picked up the wrong one. It's not the human. No one's denying that women are humans. Does he think that's what intersectionalists are doing? Is they're trying to make non-humans humans?
No, he's trying to show that you can take anything out of a word and make it meaningless. But of course, that's not what anyone is asking you to do.
No.
So he's just doing like a completely false comparison, a ridiculous argument.
But am I getting the same? And this is a point that's broader, but I think bears examination. That the same arguments that were used against, say, gay people are now being used against trans people.
Yep.
And this has hints to me of the argument that was used by Scum against gay marriage, when they would say, well, if you open up to a man marrying a man, what about if a man wants to marry a horse or a dog? Is that okay? And he's essentially saying
it's
the same
kind of like
shit.
a slippery. It's a sort of a slippery slope argument.
Yeah.
Which is a logical fallacy.
Yeah. It's bullshit. Yeah. Anyway. This is an issue because women, as we define them, engage in an array of activities that are rightly regulated by society, such as intercourse and marriage, that might otherwise seem permissible. So they literally are. If you allow trans people to exist, then fucking dogs will be okay. That he's literally doing the same argument they used against gay people. Yeah, if you allow transes to exist, then who's going to stop people using a hamster as a cocksock? Who knows?
I'm sorry, where is society highly regulating women in terms of extra intercourse?
Well, I suppose, I think he's saying, if you mess around with these definitions, then women might fuck people who are not men.
Well, no, I just...
Or things that are not men.
That might be... Yeah, but the thing is, that's not a true statement. I don't know, where are women's intercourse being highly regulated? By society, or is it?
No, I don't think he's saying. He says rightly regulated.
Oh,
and there are laws about intercourse and marriage, so that's okay. Yeah.
Okay, but that's not intercourse. We're talking about sexual assault.
Well, no, I mean, a woman couldn't fuck a dog, for instance. I think is the point. Whereas he's saying if you take out these parts of the definition, then all of a sudden you open it up to if someone wants to fuck an animal, that's fine. So his whole straw man
isn't quite how I understood it, but
I think that's what he's trying to say. So basically, his whole straw man of removing human, which no one is trying to do, would open up the possibility of people fucking and/or marrying non-human things.
So he's back to the old. Okay.
Yeah. So it's literally the same argument that the homophobes were doing. So I preempted your straw man bullshit conclusion, Carl. You are literally arguing the same thing about. What about if the gays want to fuck a dog instead? Is that okay? Or marry a dog or whatever. Yeah. So, there you go. This leads us to our final issue with the intersectional definition, which you still haven't given, Carl.
What are your other issues? Okay, you haven't enumerated them, but anyway.
Of woman, quote unquote. It does not require the person to be an adult. Okay, so again, I think I'm going to preempt him here again and say, is he going down the line of if we allow the trans to exist, then fucking kids is going to be okay? Which is, again, is the same thing they used about the gay people and
yeah. And again, no one is changing the qualifications of adulthood.
No.
Nobody.
No, literally no one. Nobody. Well, other than you and Amos Yee, Carl, who have tried to do that.
Yeah. You guys have.
It
depends on the child.
Yeah, it depends on the child, doesn't it, Carl? It does. It depends on the child. It depends on the child. Yeah. Oh, how is Amos? How is your friend Amos Yee doing these days, Carl? Is he well, or is he in prison?
Maybe.
This is deeply concerning. Yeah. This is deeply concerning to those people who think that there should be a complete prohibition of sexual interactions between adults and children, which isn't you and Amos Yee, apparently.
Yeah.
Carl, just saying.
You don't count yourself there.
Yeah, exactly. You're not involved in that group of people there because you're not one of them. It would seem that if biology...
And of course, yeah.
Yeah, go on.
No, just he can't quote any intersectional feminist saying any of these things because they don't exist. He has to invent them and then put lies, fantasies, and then try to argue against straw feminists.
Oh, God, I've just noted the bottom. It doesn't say next article or previous article. It's next analysis.
Yes.
previous analysis.
There's no analysis here. It's all bullshit. It's all his
Fart
fantasy
huffing,
bullshit.
You fart huffing delusional gobshite. Fuck off.
With his run-on sentences.
Yeah. Oh, God almighty. This is deeply oh no, we read that bit. It would seem that if biology is no barrier to becoming a woman, that children could be considered to be women, and
God,
as with non-human organisms, could find themselves claiming the status of woman, and everything that goes along with that. No one's taking
ridiculous.
women. No one's taking human or age out of any equation here. Mm-hmm. Again, in your definition here, Carl.
Except you.
In your definition, you've said that they're trying to get rid of adult and human from the definition, and they're not. Women are still, under any definition, any reasonable actual definition that anyone has argued, they're still adult and human.
Why don't you actually take on like an article written by an intersectional feminist on this, as opposed to just straw manning them?
Yeah, so basically, if you allow trans people to exist, then they're going to want to fuck animals and children. So it's the same. It's the same regurgitated homophobic bullshit from centuries ago, let alone decades.
Yeah.
So, but you know, conservatism is the new punk rock, didn't you know?
Yeah, right.
If to be a woman is to be understood as a sexual being, it isn't.
Nope.
It isn't, Carl. A woman could go her whole life without fucking. Look at Anne Widdecombe. Literally, Anne Widdecombe is a woman in her 80s who has never fucked. And all power to her. She's a weird Christian fuck, but she's decided she wants to do that thing. That's fine. No, I don't think anyone would say she isn't a woman because of that.
I think the accurate thing here is that I can only frame women in the terms of being sexual beings.
Yeah.
This is Carl. He's projecting his own inability to not think of women in other ways than as sexual beings on everybody else.
Definitely his. Definitely. Mm-hmm. And anyone can identify as a woman. It would seem that the door is open for people with nefarious intent. Yeah, they're going to come and fuck your dogs and your children, obviously. What a piece of shit.
You've got more nefarious intent, Carl.
Yeah, exactly, Carl. I wouldn't even fucking downvote this article, you fucking rape enthusiast piece of shit.
Oh, you wish you could downvote it.
If nothing else, it seems simply prudent to define women as a term restricted to... Also, Carl, if someone wants to rape a kid, the definition of woman isn't going to interfere with them doing that. Because, you know, I'll tell you this, Carl, there have been people fucking animals and children long before any new age definitions of women came about. Didn't stop them, did it? Didn't even give them a moment's pause for thought. If nothing else, it seems prudent, blah, 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 to define women, or woman, sorry, quote unquote, as a term restricted to adults to prevent such complications regarding the sexual nature of the identity, with the intention of protecting children from any adults who might use this loophole as a method of satisfying their predatory instincts, like you and Amos Yu. Like you and Amos Yu, mate.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
There is no loophole. He's invented a loophole because no one's trying to get rid of adult or human from any definition, but whatever. This is to make no commentary on transgender people, apart from insinuating they want to fuck children and animals. But other than that, there's no insinuation here. That's fine. To make no commentary on transgender people, or to suggest a lack of empathy for their plight.
Except exactly what he did this entire time.
Can I get some extra doubt in chat, please? Because I think he's talking shit. It is to emphasise that while we might agree that they contain within themselves a contradiction that needs resolution, effectively abolishing the identity of quote woman unquote is a solution that causes more problems than it solves. No, we can't agree on that. No, we definitely can't agree on that because that isn't a thing.
Abolishing the identity of woman?
Yeah.
Again.
It's not abolishing anything, Carl. It's opening it up to a more actual, correct, concrete understanding of womanhood.
Yeah. I mean, if all you see are two categories and there are 5 or 7, you're missing part of the world.
Yeah.
So the answer isn't to make everyone fit into your categories, it's to appreciate the diversity.
Indeed.
Wow. Wow, he was proud of that shit.
Yeah, he sent that to us thinking that was good.
Shit.
Carl, this is an abomination.
Did you think we were going to be persuaded by this? Is that what?
Maybe.
You had to know that we were just going to roast you, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he did. Maybe he genuinely thinks that was good. He put it up, so presumably he did. But anyway, we're done with Carl. There's nothing to say on him. He's garbage. So we'll do bookmarks. Did you have bookmarks, or shall I just run through them?
I had a couple, but if you want to, if you've gone through a lot of them before, I just need a little time to pull mine up.
That's what she said. Anyway, so we ended with cat in Christmas tree. Right. Kaylee McEnany. Oh, this is an amazing phrase. Her use of statistics here is quite something. Hang on, I need to shrink that back down. Apologies. Oh, no.
Okay.
There we go. No, stop. I hate the world. Right.
Tried type of election with the mail-in voting. And what this lawsuit does, it looks at those anomalies, and here's what it finds. It finds that the chances of Biden coming from as far behind as he was at 3 a.m. on election night, the chances of that are 1 in 1 quadrillion. The chances of him, that's prevailing in one state, prevailing in all 4 of the states where he was so far behind, the chances of that are 1 in a quadrillion to the 4th power. This is all outlined right here in this lawsuit.
Does it? What?
Totally made up numbers. Obvious nonsense.
What?
1 in a quadrillion to the 4th power.
They need to fire whatever statistician or person who's thinking they know stats, but that ain't it.
That's probably more particles than there are like in the universe or some dumb shit. Like, it's just so obviously full of nonsense. That's gibberish.
The chances.
That's gibberish.
Yeah, complete.
This is amazing, right? This is someone went to view a house, and this is how you get in and out through the back door, right? This is someone's kitchen, just a kitchen.
Get the fuck out!
Yeah. That's someone's. That's what the fuck? You couldn't ever use that surface.
No.
Think of how much milk and shit would get spilled by that. Someone just coming in. That's ridiculous.
Nunk.
Yeah. Anyway, but that's a thing. That amused me. Oh, fucking hell! Right.
Oh yeah.
Almost exactly 1 year apart. Boris's Brexit deal up and ready. Brexit. Large gaps remain in critical talks in Brussels. Oh yeah, that's not going to happen, by the way. And they're doing this thing now. They're calling it the Australian style deal.
Which it's not at all, is
Australia doesn't have a deal. So the Australia style deal isn't a
it's
thing.
No deal.
It isn't a thing. We're crashing out with no deal and going Thunderdome, I think, now. We're just going to go full Mad Max, fuck it. Why not? Let's be honest, we all knew Britain was going to end up in that place. Why fight it anymore?
I mean, that's what they were aiming for this whole time.
Yeah. Oh, I love these crazy fuckers who like personalise their vans with mental shit. So you've got the thin blue stripe America flag thing there. Honk for Trump. I guess video proof or cheating is fake. Well, libs? ? If you are one of the 35 legal US citizens who voted for Biden, 35 total.
That's it.
Not 35 million. 35 legal US citizens who voted for Biden. You are some kind of stupid. You then have Joe Biden and Hunter Biden with Meet the Biden Boys, Sniff and Snort. What?
What?
Newsmax TV, Patriot, something. Hold the Line, Georgia. But you need a comma there, because that's just Hold the Line, Georgia, which doesn't make sense. Not my pedophile. And then I think, is that a picture of Joe Biden or something? I don't know.
Oh, not Trump and Jeffrey Epstein?
No, apparently not. Biden with dementia, you know the thing. Okay. Do you really believe I received 80 million legal votes and then a picture of him saying, "Come on, man," and then Beijing Biden? Okay. It's weird. It's very weird.
So coping.
And then this one's just again, it's the 80 million one with "Come on, man" and a Trump flag. Like, it's just, Who are doing this? This is so ugly. Oh yeah, Louis Gohmert's tooth falls out, and he just sort of does he swallow it or something? I don't know. What does he do there?
Tucks it in the back of his jaw for later on.
Tucks it back, and then I don't know. We'll presumably feast later. I don't know. It's weird.
Stick it back in.
Yeah. Oh, this is them. Oh, this. Oh, she's becoming one of my favourite lolcos. Yeah, she's what's her name again? Bollocks, I've forgotten. Anyway, but yeah, she's fucking mental.
I just call her 40 packs.
Yeah, she does. She's got a very growly voice, and she's the most New York voiced person you've ever heard. Actually, I'll just play a little bit for her for a second.
Ohio, Florida, it is known that you win the presidency. No one has ever won those two states without winning the presidency.
That's not true, by the way. Trump made that claim last night that no one had won Florida, Ohio, and Iowa and not won the presidency. Richard Nixon did in 1960.
So?
No, but Richard Nixon did he won all those three states and lost to Kennedy. So, no. If the Pope was a dog. That's a cute little dog.
Aww. Mm-hmm.
I quite like infant so tender and mild suggests the existence of a spicy baby. True.
Yeah, it does kind of have a recipe feel to it, doesn't it?
Then we had Bradley. That was for my thing yesterday. That's the Amicus blah de blah, which I covered.
Oh yeah.
This is a cursed image, and I bring you cursed images every day. It's just a
what the hell?
Yeah, it's them. It's them as the Avengers or something. Okay, weird. Interestingly,
Sure.
The Hulk's skin looks less gross than his neck. Just saying there. That's
right there.
That's
that little waddle.
Yeah, that little weird.
Alex Jones.
A neck.
Is in
A
there?
nussy. Is nussy there?
Is nussy? Yeah.
Like
oh, I
a
see
neck.
what you did
Yeah,
with that.
yeah.
Yeah. I suppose. Yeah.
IHOP is funded by Big Quail. Beef terrorists.
What?
Parler takes it. I'm gonna have to try and get Parler takes on because some of the stuff they find on Parler is just beautiful. Beef terrorists. I don't even know what that means. Beef terrorists.
Also, how are they funded by Big Quail?
There's just a big quail. It's just a massive quail.
I thought it was like a mafia of quail.
No. It's just one enormous, freakishly large quail who's got a lot of money. He just owns
I
the
just
IHOP
like the
chain,
idea
yeah.
of an entire like a sort of underground quail mob being run. So I'm gonna go with that. That's how they're funding it.
But that's incorrect
you know
and
what
silly,
IHOP is?
Kristi. Yeah, the International
Do you know
House
what
of
IHOP is?
Pancakes. Yeah.
Pancakes.
Yeah, funded by
They have
a
really
massive
good
quail.
pancakes.
Yeah,
Well, no, they can have really bad pancakes if you go at like 4 a.m.
yeah. That's just a cute cat. Look at the
Oh, it
markings.
is.
It's like a tiger.
It is. Oh, Whiskers Wednesday. That's nice.
The word, and I hadn't thought about this before. The word bed is shaped like a little bed, and it is. It's shaped.
Yes, it
It's shaped
is.
like a little bed. Like if you notice
It
the
is.
word "lol,"
That's a good way to remember.
lol is shaped a little bit like a mosque. It's got minarets and everything. It's got a dome. It's a mosque. I don't make the rules. Do you want to see a cross between Alex Jones and Homer Simpson?
This is awful. Please take it off the screen now.
Kristi,
That is.
I bring you cursed
No, I
images,
can't.
and it doesn't get a
You-
great deal
you see
more
my
cursed.
eyes.
Yeah,
My fucking eyes.
you can
Make
feel
it
that.
go away.
You can
What is
feel
it?
that in your soul, can't you? Hey,
What is up with the stringy hair? Oh
it's
God.
it's Homer Simpson hair. That's Homer Simpson's hair and Alex Jones. It's.
Oh, this is awful.
It is atrocious. Yeah, this was the thing about YouTube getting rid of misinformation about the election, and obviously the people who were outraged, like Dave Rubin
Yes.
and Tim Pool, naturally, Stephen Crowder, Jack Posobiec, all of those. Yeah, that gives you a fair indication of
Exactly.
of things there. Yeah,
What they're talking about right now.
yeah, Kraken went 0-4. Good stuff. Which is, I mean, you swing 4 times. That's one more. You're not even allowed 4 swings in baseball, but they gave him 4 and struck out still. Nice.
Or in this one, Trump and his allies are 1 in 55 in post-election litigation, or as Neil Katyal likes to say, even a deck of cards has 2 jokers in it.
Yeah. This is her. This
They
was
don't even
before.
have that.
I'm saving this for a cringe compilation, but that's her again. What's it? Tina. That's it. Tina. She sells merch as well now.
You see, this is how I go out. This is how I train. This is how I shop. This is how I run my Spartan races. And I live in a blue fucking state, not even a red one.
Yeah, really. You're from New York, are you? I wouldn't have guessed. Fucking hell. Oh, yeah, again, thank you to the Daily Telegraph for being dickheads. In 2018, Carney, that's the head of the Bank of England, unleashes Project Hysteria, because he was like, Brexit's probably not going to be good for the economy. And now, from Wednesday the 9th, food rots and factories shut as port chaos hammers UK.
Gee, who saw that coming except for everyone who told you it was coming?
Yeah, thanks, guys. Project Fear turns out to be Project Reality. Good. This is amazing. Firstly, OAN misspelt president as president, which is good.
Nice.
But also, this supposed news organisation is GoFunding to buy Donald Trump's childhood home to give to him.
What?
GoFundMe seeking funds to give President Trump with childhood home. You know he owns a skyscraper in Manhattan.
Yeah.
Like he's not shy on homes right now.
Well,
he'll be one down in January. That's true, but he's still
Deutsche
fine.
Bank.
He's still fine.
Yeah.
Anyway, oh yeah, Dave Rubin. It's so sad. He got to go to the White House, which is pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
But he was like on his own, and then went like, "Yo, Donald Trump, I'm downstairs if you want to grab a drink." So you sucked his dick for 4 years, and he wouldn't even come down and say hello and shake your hand or anything. Oh.
He's got to have someone. Well, that looks like a selfie. How many of these are selfie? How many he gets staffed?
There's one official.
Can you take a picture of me?
Presumably he does have like a person with him, but like the president, none of his people came to meet him. Look, he's not with any officials in any of these pictures.
Oh God, no!
No,
he's so minor.
Yeah. Who cares? Like it's just embarrassing. This is quite funny. This guy is obviously taking the piss out of this Trump supporter, but
okay.
Who do you think won the election?
Oh, I know Donald Trump won the election. There's no doubt in my mind.
What do you say to people who say that Donald Trump lost by 7 million votes and is being a baby about this whole thing?
Those people are delusional. They are willful in refusing the truth. There's a difference between being ignorant and willfully ignorant.
And which one are you?
What's that? What's that? What? Which what am I?
That was quite nice. This woman was an MP from my city. She was actually a German originally, but she was born in Germany. Had a slight German accent as well, and was a Labour MP as well. Interesting.
Okay.
Chair of Vote Leave, Gisela Stewart, on Sky News, quote, "No deal is not a preferred option for either side, but the solution is now a political one. We probably need to accept that their commitment to how they define the single market is even more fundamental than we had appreciated." Unquote. So the thing we told you, that you couldn't just like pretend like the single market wasn't a thing and have your cake and eat it. No, you're either in the bastard thing or you're not in the thing. And now they're going, oh shit, yeah. Oh, bollocks. Oh, never mind. We'll still do Brexit then, eh?
They realized on December 10th that actually
December 10th,
Britain, they're not going to come
later,
begging.
4 years later.
Yeah, yes. They're not. EU isn't actually going to come begging. That you're not in a better position, and that they can, they can't do without you.
Yeah.
No, actually, that's not the case at all.
They prefer to have a deal with you, but they're not going to shit on 26 other, or 27, because it's obviously the 27 left, nations just to get a deal with you. You make up like a fair percentage of EU trade, but not like enough that you're going to cripple anyone. They'll survive.
Yep.
We might not, but they will.
Remember they said they need us more than we need them?
Yeah, they're idiots.
People actually said that.
Yeah, they're idiots. People from the actual states that are being controlled, but they're going to take up their seats, no doubt about it. They got elected fair and square.
Even though the race was...
But the race for president was
their
somehow
ballots were fine.
Fixed. Yeah.
Very specially, yes.
Interesting. Yeah, anyone saying that, I'll retweet this. No, actually, I won't bother, but people are now saying, oh no, when Johnson said he's oven-ready deal, he didn't mean a trade deal, except that's literally him in this interview saying, yes, 100% of the issues are already addressed when asked, but a trade deal. Yeah, so he's lying. He's a liar.
Lying sack of shit. Yeah. God, you guys are going to be so fucked. I'm sorry. Oh, hello, sweetie.
Oh, squeaky girl.
Yeah, comes in over and sits on your foot. Love it.
Yeah, this is the thread I was talking about. It really should go without saying at this point, but nobody involved should ever be allowed to live this down. They should forever be known as the people who tried to overturn an election simply because their candidate did not win. Now, it goes into great stuff about the press and how, like, they've been complicit in all of this. I'll retweet this out again. I'll undo the retweet and retweet it. Because that's such a good thread to have a look through. And it's true. The press have indulged fantasy with these people. Rather than saying, no, you're lying, they go, well, we need to hear from both sides. Like, how often are these fucking lunatics interviewed as if they're sensible people? They're not. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Kira Bell, who was the one that was involved in the lawsuit that fucked over trans kids, now wants essentially conversion therapy. They're saying they want doctors to help trans kids reconcile with their sex. So, yeah, garbage. Well done.
Yeah,
well done,
complete.
TERFs. They're going to use this now to undermine reproductive rights for young women as well, so fuck you. Oh, yeah, the Straight Pride March that was going to Washington, D.C.
Was that the one?
For tomorrow?
That Milo was the parade master of, what was it?
Something like
last
that.
Time?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know if he was this time, but he has been in the past. Yeah, and they were going to go to Washington, D.C. tomorrow. The bus company that was chartered to take people there has now pulled out. So good. So they're not going anywhere. Good.
Bye.
Bye.
Have fun at home.
Bye. Yeah, this is quite funny. Again, Parler is a mixture of people who are fascists and people who are taking the piss out of fascists. Hence here. The numbers keep going up. Need 26 states. And DJ says, it's the Supreme Court, not a gangbang. True.
Need 20. It's just a friend of the court briefing.
Yeah, like, not if you get the majority of states, they go, okay, then you win. That's not how any of that works.
Yeah.
Fuck's sake. And not just that, but 26 states have now signed on in the opposite direction. So according to Fred, he now loses.
Yeah, because there's also territories. Yeah. Yes.
Oh, a cat and a pupper.
Aww. Look at him. Oh, I'll give you a little clean chew on here. Yeah. You smell a bit bad. Aw, that's lovely.
That's cute. I like it when animals get along. Rory Katz does not like other animals usually. Oh, this was amazing. Yeah, this was Brad Heath. This was from the court case, obviously involving the 4 states: Georgia, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin. I brought it back one time.
Call back.
Yeah, and they're so shit, these people, that this is the page where they're supposed to tell the court where the paragraphs for each case is, and they just left them blank. So you want Supreme Court justices to waste their time searching through for specific paragraphs.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I can't even believe how shit they are.
And Brad Heath just writes, I'm mean. ...
Look at the person who is next. Look at the person underneath who.
I had not considered this as a mistake, but one could make. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like literally, you're asking Supreme Court case justices who are very busy, right? They get thousands of people or thousands of cases to look at every year, and they don't take many of them because they're fucking busy. And you're not even going to make it like easy possible for them to find this shit. They're not going to look through all of them. They're human beings. This is there for a reason, to try and expedite the process. Dickheads.
I probably, when I send off something like I've done revisions or I'm sending it off for the first time, I probably read it through 5 to 10 times on my own just to make sure I catch any last mistakes.
Yeah.
And then to just go through. Actually, there was another one too, I think, in that thread, in the comments to the right, if you go back to it. Yeah, someone said underneath, so I mean, Yep, and this one, also that one.
4. Under the current state laws in the representative state, the state legislators do not take any votes to certify the presidential electors. I don't... What?
Oh, I think this might be just legal stuff. Now lawyers are getting more technical. I thought it was something else that they made a mistake on, but maybe it's you need a law degree to understand.
Exhibit and then blank. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Okay, well, I don't know. But either so, clearly... I mean, they didn't misspell district as districoict, so I suppose they got one up on her, but there we go.
Just spell check it, people. Just spell check it.
This is quite nice. Joe Biden not giving a fuck. Come on.
Has not said if he's going to attend your inauguration yet. Do you think it's important that he's there?
Yeah.
You're laughing.
Joe Biden doesn't give a shit.
Yeah, Joe Biden just didn't care.
No.
I don't care if he's there. No. So Joe Biden not giving a fuck. That's some pretty powerful swag. I'm just going to put it that way.
Yeah. I like a fuck must be earned to be given.
Yeah, this is quite nice. Yeah, I retweeted this from a person called Kristi Winters. Who is
No, you just bookmarked it. You didn't retweet it.
Oh, I'll retweet it now. Sorry, apologies. I wonder if she's related to Kristi with an E Winters. I don't know.
Oh, famous one.
GOPs, yeah, exactly. Yeah, her and Movie Bob. Yeah. GOPs and the far right like to pretend they own true masculinity, while the left makes men weak. The truth is, Ted Cruz et al. Want to be dominated by a strong man like Trump, to be a quisling to a tyrant. They are primed by patriarchy to accept unjust hierarchies, not fight them. That's a very good point.
Yeah, they want to be like little, servants to a powerful person. They don't actually want to have independence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Indeed. This Tim Pool's just weird. I don't know how else to put this. Tim Pool is just fucking strange. Right, so there's been this thing where they put 4 twats up on the screen. It's like you have to spend 24 hours locked in a room with one of these people. And it's like, which one do you find less offensive or whatever, right? And someone puts this joke. This is the only one I've seen so far that is legitimately hard, but I think I could make Tim Pool cry. Which is a bit rude or whatever. But then Tim Pool comes back with the oddest response. How would you do it? I guess if you killed my cat, I'd cry, but probably only after the blinding rage. You're a fucking mental case. Who responds with that? Look, it's obviously a troll saying you're like a dickhead or whatever, right? If you killed my cat.
Yeah.
That's that's weird, Tim.
That's where you went.
That's so fucking strange. God damn. This is quite nice. A roundup of this person's been bookmark or not photoshopping, screenshotting headlines, and some of them are amazing. Philadelphia Flyer mascot Gritty accused of punching child. I don't know if that's true, but it's awful.
No.
3 men banned from Yellowstone after trying to cook chicken in Giza.
What?
Yeah.
Cook in a geyser.
Geyser, sorry. Geyser. Is that how it's pronounced? Okay, whatever.
Yeah, the fountain geyser.
Virginia's
geyser is just an old man.
An old man, yeah. A hot old man, though, so it's okay. Virginia senator blames Canada for his extra moist microwave tuna melt. Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Mississippi says including giant mosquito state flag redesign was a mistake.
Yeah, maybe you don't want to put a giant fucking mosquito on all of your state seals.
Yeah.
Or your flag.
It's dumb.
Or all
It's
your
really
paraphernalia.
Just to goes to show that you can be good at baseball and be stupid. Jose Canseco worried Bigfoot or aliens can get coronavirus. Okay, Jose. Good stuff.
All right.
Countries with more butter have happier citizens.
Well, I mean, I believe that. I mean, I don't know that to be a fact, but I am
causation
not
correlate
on that finding.
Correlation, motherfuckers. Come on. Animals. Yeah. This is I don't even know what this means. Animals keep evolving into crabs, which is somewhat disturbing.
Where is that? Put your mouse over it.
This is just a composite image. This is just one image.
And I know, but you're reading some of these headlines.
Oh, sorry.
You're bopping all over, and
this animals keep evolving into
crabs, which is somewhat disturbing.
Yeah. Pope Francis is getting weird. He's going a bit AI on us, I think. Pope Francis urges followers to pray that AI and robots always serve mankind. What does he know about the robots? The robot uprising. U.S. Congress rules that pizza is a vegetable.
No.
It's a thing. I don't know if that's true or not, but there we go.
Yeah, it could be just an Onion headline.
Universe shouldn't exist, say CERN physicists.
Well, maybe in terms of probability.
We covered this one.
Infinitely dense.
German nudist chased wild boar that stole laptop at Berlin Lake.
We covered that one. That's our pick.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's our guy right there with the cheeks.
Oh my God, this is an amazing. Is your meth contaminated with coronavirus? This Florida police department will test it for free. Okay.
That's not a real.
Okay. Fine. A ghost.
I mean, if people who are going to come in for that are going to get arrested.
One for Hugo Chavez in between stealing elections, if he's interested. A ghost is the perfect quarantine sex partner. That's right.
That's why he was busy earlier in the year.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he was getting some serious ghost poon. Shoo. She was a Tulsi stan, as we might remember.
Yeah, she was huge.
Yeah, and Tulsi Gabbard.
Is she still?
I don't know. This is. I'm gonna guess she deleted this, by the way, but it was up there for a bit. Tulsi Gabbard, gobshite piece of trash. Technically, was we have to say former presidential, not nominee. What do you call it? Candidate.
Candidate.
Yeah, for the Democratic Party. Even though she's not really a Democrat in any respect, she is present though. That's good. Always good.
She is there.
Yeah.
For a little while longer.
For a little while longer, she's still present. Unfortunately, because she's teamed up with a Republican to try and make it to try and basically make trans people not a thing anymore in America or something. I don't quite. I haven't read the actual document because I don't read turf trash ideally. Although we did kind of just a second ago. But anyway, so that happened, and Shu, being in her new semi-woke guise or whatever, I don't know, says, seeing a massive shit ton of young people, mostly LGBT Tulsi stan mutuals, feeling very black-pilled right now. Lots of them teenagers, and I got into politics because of Tulsi. I love you guys. Every politician will eventually let you down. Don't stop fighting for the good stuff she stood for. Heart. Thoughts?
Well, what does she mean? Can you translate why they're feeling black-pilled?
Black-pilled means despondent.
Existentially depressed?
Yeah, despondent, downbeat, not optimistic.
Yeah, well, I mean, in my opinion, Tulsi Gabbard's a shitty politician anyway. So, and yeah, every politician does eventually let you down. I don't know what good stuff she stood for, to be honest.
Well, no
that
war.
Couldn't be done better by someone else.
Let's not do war, which apparently counts as like high-level leftist politics for some people.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, I don't have too much. Do you have any thoughts on this?
It's dumb. It's just dumb. Yeah. And Tulsi Gabbard, just in case anyone's wondering, Tulsi Gabbard is garbage.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not surprised. I mean, in that she did it as she's leaving Congress, and it's just so spiteful and pointless. Yeah. But I'm not surprised.
Who wants to go out on that note? Mm-hmm. Like, you'll be remembered. That's the last thing you tried to do. Fuck you, man. God damn it. Yeah. Oh, this is amazing. So the EU has dangerously misread Britain. Too many in Brussels wrongly believe Johnson will cave, blah, blah, blah. The UK media are so contemptuous that they don't even mention that the guy who wrote this article, James Forsyth, is married to the Prime Minister's spokesperson. Maybe a little bit of a conflict of interest there, James, that you might want to have mentioned. Just a thought.
He's acting like Britain still has cards in this game.
Yeah, we don't have
they're holding a hand of shit. You're holding nothing, not even two pair.
Yeah, we've got well, to use a monopoly analogy, we're out of money and we purposefully jumped on Mayfair with a hotel that someone else owns. We're fucked. We're done. We're over. Anyway, thinking about this, oh god, Wall Street Journal. If he loses,
Mick Mulvaney.
Yeah, I know. If he loses, Trump will concede gracefully. He'll fight hard to make sure the results are fair, but in the end, he'll accept the result, whatever it is. That aged well.
Nobody thought that.
That aged super well, Mick. Well done. Yeah, Trump's going to be emo. I just want the world to stop. I just want to stop the world from killing itself. He's going to be emo on it, yeah. Just a bit emo.
There you go.
I just want people to get along and love, you know? Like, what's with all the pain in the world? Anyway. Yeah, this seems kind of bad. It is very much so. 293,000 deaths, although I would argue it's probably over 300,000, literally, because Trump's fudging the numbers.
What we call it, yeah.
I'll get to that comment shortly.
Excess deaths. Yeah.
That's more people than America lost in the Second World War. Yeah. Hang on, I'll put that.
Yeah.
There we go.
Oh, remember when he was bragging because it was going to be, the Civil War was, like 600,000 and, that was a terrible war, but we weren't going to get anywhere near that. And we've done almost a third of that in a year, less than a year.
Yeah. So America, the coronavirus is more deadly than the Nazis to America. Just saying.
And it's only been since February.
Yeah.
February, I think, was the first.
In less than a year, you've lost more than you lost in was it 3 years of war against Germany?
I should say 660,000, but that's a very disputed number.
Yeah.
Because that's just the soldiers and doesn't always include POW camps numbers and blah, blah, blah. So, yeah.
Yeah, James Lindsay has reached maximum capacity dumb shit.
He blocked me. Did
he? What for?
Yeah. I don't remember. I think I was just taking the piss out of him because I did that from time to time. He finally must have noticed and blocked me. Yeah.
Anyway,
I was calling him like a plagiarist or something.
You've clearly missed out on one of the great tweets of all time here. But I brought it to you. That's how important I think this is for you to hear.
Thank you for getting me around his block.
It's okay.
So exciting.
It's okay. Black Lives Matter is the Hegelian/neo-Marxist dialectic meant to negate all lives matter, i.e., all men are created equal. The synthesis, quote, brackets, their goal, in brackets, is some, brackets, politically black, unbracket, lives matter more than others, bracket, and there's an intersectional hierarchy of mattering, unbracket.
What a load of shit. Okay.
Who could argue with such an obviously sensical thing?
Maybe he should ask the people who sort of started the movement, because their whole point was that when black people died, it didn't seem like it mattered. Yeah. And they started to have to say, Black lives actually matter. It's not to say they matter more. It's to say they actually have value, and you as a white dominated society, don't protect. You're not acting like it is. You're acting like they have no value, like they don't matter.
Yeah. And thank you to Lord Fritius, who has resubscribed, tier 1 for 3 months. Says no pass around. No pass around, comrade. Absolutely. Anyway, that means none shall pass in Spanish. And it's behind me on the wall on the flag. Anyway, doesn't matter. And that's Carl's nonsense. Then there's this weird goblin-looking turkey creature. I don't know what's going on there, but it's very cute.
It's got folds.
It's just got bits of cat. I don't even know what's going on there. But it's beautiful. All cats are beautiful. That's what ACAB means.
I actually kind of makes me think a little bit of what a tabaxi in D&D, like kind of if you imagine like a monk cat and it's just sort of sat down and having a bit of a rest after having a fight. That's what that cat kind of reminds me of.
I'll take your word for it.
Okay.
Yes. We've then got this cat.
Oh, look at you, pretty face.
Yeah,
oh
beautiful.
My gosh.
Beautiful cat.
Love it.
And then someone stole this cat's arms and legs.
No, it's a loaf.
It's a loaf of cat. It's a blobfish of cat.
And a towel.
Yes. And a towel. Yeah. And then this one's eating a laptop.
Munch, munch, munch.
And I quite like sorry, Professor, my cat ate my homework. Is a good line.
Yes.
Oh, bless.
That's so sweet.
Yeah. And then
I hate you.
And then that was the thing from New California and New Nevada.
That's you done?
Yeah, I'm done. I'll stop sharing.
All right.
Did you have stuff you wanted to share?
Only a couple things.
Okay.
Not very many.
Okay.
I don't want to. It's ending on a kind of a positive, so might as well try to stay like that. I think we need a little bit of sound though. Okay. So yes, the first thing up. It's mostly just going to be cute things.
Oh.
So when you get back from the groomers with a Christmas bandana and style. So it doesn't do anything. He's just cute.
Yeah,
he's professionally
just a cute dog. The messages are on the screen, Kristi.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
I mean, I'm not sure they could actually be seen behind my camera / thing,
face.
but just in case.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I don't open that up. Twitter just does that.
Yeah, Twitter's really annoying. Stop doing that, Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Messages are supposed to be private. Let's give you the option if you want to open them up.
Yes, you can expand them, but don't make me have to always close them as a default. All right, so you want to see Goalkeeper Kitty?
Yeah. Golf goalkeeper as well. Nice.
Mm-hmm. Ah, damn it. I was going to check how loud it was.
Oh, wow, caught it as well. Nice.
Yeah.
It's not just swatting that shit.
Mm-hmm.
And are those proper golf balls as well?
I don't know if they are or not. Maybe there's some sort of... I mean, they look pretty... They look much like golf balls.
They do, yeah. Because they're quite hard then.
Stop 3.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive, huh?
Although he's giving up rebounds, so I mean they'll,
Yeah. Yes. Leads to some point losses.
Exactly.
And then this is the last one.
Okay, what we got?
You'll recognize the music from this because this is what I was watching before we went on air while you were gone.
Right.
I'll turn it all the way up for this one. Go.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Cats who use escalators.
Yeah. Why waste energy?
Yes. Very cat-like thing.
Awesome.
Isn't that
That's
amazing?
awesome catting. Well done.
So yeah, follow place where cats shouldn't be.
Yes.
If you want more places where cats shouldn't be, like this one.
Indeed. And we're done.
That was it.
We're done.
Yeah, we are.
Oh.
Finito.
Our City looking for a goal kick? They are not. We've won 2 games in a row, which might be our season high because we're shit. But still. Anyway, Neil Etheridge is quite good. Anyway, let's not get into it. No one cares. No, literally no one cares, Kev. So, yeah, what you got going on over the weekend?
Oh, I was muted. We've got some D&D. I'm putting together an edited video. Although it was going to be applied to Carl, and now we've done Carl 3 days in a row, and I'm getting a bit fed up. But I've also put a lot of work into it already, so I can't give it up. So no more Carl for us.
Oh, I can't. I just can't quit you.
Yeah, and then I've got D&D with Kristi on Saturday night. I've got my game on Sunday, and we've also now booked a game for New Year's Eve because New Year's Eve is a very boring holiday. So I'm going to do a one-shot with a bigger group for New Year's Eve. That's about it. Yeah, editing a video. I have no timetable for it yet because I want it to be good. I want to kind of take my time and do something a little bit more, push myself a bit. So I'm still working on that. And how about you, Kevin? You've got a couple days off now? Or are you doing stuff over the weekend?
Well, I've got. Hopefully, I'm going to get a MAGA cringe compilation. I'm planning on doing one every weekend, or having one out for each weekend until. No, I was too close to the mic because I was doing that on purpose. I was doing a like it's a anyway. Yeah, a MAGA cringe compilation every weekend between now and at least Inauguration Day, and then probably after for a bit because they're going to go mental on Inauguration Day too. So, although if they do some terrorist shit, it might not seem appropriate, so I might not. So we'll wait and see.
Yes. I mean, we'll see, because, when we had Trump's inauguration with the Women's March, which nobody got arrested at.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Like, it's almost as if leftists don't react, like, brilliantly in terms of optics, but don't necessarily go around bombing people.
No, that would be the other side.
Yeah. Have mercy on our ears. What do you think this fucking show is? What do you think I am? Do you think I care about anything?
It's all about what Kevin wants to do in the moment.
Well, it's not even what I want to do. It's not. No, Kristi. It's an illness. I can't give in to the crowd. I'm incapable of doing it. That's why my channel is never going anywhere.
You have to use. You have to use reverse psychology on Kev. You have to say, "You must talk loudly into the mic right now," and then he'll refuse to do it.
Exactly. Like if you say, "Kev, get closer to the mic, get closer," and I'll back off. I'll be on the other side of the fucking room. You'll hear me like a whisper. Anyway, because I can't moderate. Well, we're talking moderation. At the end of last night's stream, we were raided by Nazis.
What?
Yeah,
a Nazis sent over to your channel and into your chat.
Yeah, into my chat. They started. They just typing 14, so like the 14 words, and I didn't understand at first. And we were watching a transphobic video from Ariel Scarcella, where I was thinking, because she'd said this person started transitioning or whatever when they were 16, and people were typing 14. I thought they were correcting her and saying that they'd got the age wrong or something. And I was like, okay, yeah, we get it. Right. 14. Yeah, okay, calm down. And there were like 20 or 30 of these fucking trolls saying 14 and asking me to go on the patriotic nationalist show or something. And I was like, no, I don't. Why want to talk to fucking Nazis? You're garbage. Go away. So, yeah. So that happened. But thankfully, I've got awesome mods who were like, fuck this noise. Ban. I was going to go through them, and I got to about 2, and then all of a sudden, vroom, all of them got banned.
They were gone.
Yeah. Get out.
Came down like a hammer.
Indeed. So thank you to all of my moderators who will continue to do great work, even though they get no money for it. Because I'm poor. On that note, give me money. The links are below. I'm so shit at it. But anyway, yeah, Kristi's channel and everything is linked below. Please go and check her out. She's doing videos now. So that seems like a worthwhile thing to shout out. So.
Well, when I do a video, we'll shout it out. But I'm winding back up.
Well, you already have.
Very intensive for me making videos at work. I did my Frankenstein one.
You did a Frankenstein one, and you did the Coach Red Pill thing.
Oh, I did do the Coach Red Pill, and of course I made the intro for Carl and Joey.
So there's content there. Yeah, there's content there.
Well, I mean, that's just for us. I didn't publish that on my channel. I just sent that to you as a private link. So.
Okay, but there's content you can go and watch. Like, I've just been like, you don't have to. Sunday. Like most of the big channels only publish once every month or 2 months. So if you're doing that, like, it feels like it's worth shouting that out, you know?
Yeah.
Whereas you went like 6 months with nothing. Nothing.
Well, live shows.
Live shows. That's true. But of course you do your weekend show as well. Yeah. So there's content always on that channel. Go and check it out.
Yes. Yeah. I just stopped doing YouTube. I just did a lot more D&D to get away from life.
Yeah. Okay. Well, now it feels less worth shouting you out when you talk about D&D. There you go. Had to ruin it as always. No, I'm only joking.
Yep.
Go and check out Kristi's stuff. The links are there. Go and check out my stuff. It's linked below. And go and look after yourselves, people.
Do that.
Self-care is important.
Have some tea. Have a biscuit. You know.
Yeah.
Or a rice cake if you're watching your health and don't want the extra calories.
Or narcotics is always good as well.
Yeah.
I'm joking.
That's
illegal.
Passes the time.
That's illegal. Don't do that.
Are all narcotics? Is there anything that's not
there are narcotics. Well, yeah, I mean, like methadone is a thing that can be prescribed by a doctor and shit. So they're all controlled substances, but some of them are legally attainable via medical whatnot.
Right.
So that's that important discussion done. Narcotics tick. Join me next week. I'll be back next week. Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. UK time, 2 p.m. on the East Coast of America. Kristi will probably join me, but the invitation is always open, but there's never any compunction to do so.
Expectation.
And there are noisy, shouty people in Cologne.
Yep, running down the street.
Tell them to shut the fuck
They're
up.
socially distanced. It's Friday night.
No, air rifle, Kristi. It's the only answer. It's the only answer
Oh my
these
God,
fucking
you know how hard it
animals
is?
know. No,
Do you know how hard it is to get a gun in Germany?
yeah, I live in Britain.
Not easy.
You have to get a license for a fucking fish knife. What are you talking about? It's a joke. You don't literally. It's difficult to get a gun. You can, but it's difficult. And rightly so. If you're criminally insane, you get denied a gun. Yeah, and fucking right. And in Fiji, it'll be 7 a.m. as always. Boom. Lovely stuff. Anyway, I'm going to do the bit, haven't I? Yeah, goodbye. Thank you for listening and watching and all that shit. Goodbye from me, and goodbye from Kristi. Say goodbye, Kristi.
Goodbye, Chris.